Leaving the winter that never was behind, we come back to where it all began. Located within 60 miles of downtown Minneapolis is a fabled crappie capital that most can only dream of. Lakes and rivers sprawling with habitat, seemingly a genetic anomaly. This region regularly produces the largest top-end crappies you can find anywhere in the ice belt. Now, setting the stage for this coming winter, a widespread winter kill back in 2014 and several seasons of poor ice conditions has resulted in extremely low angling pressure. Our crew now finds themselves running into a dream scenario. The area they call home now has set the stage for a winter of historic angling opportunities. With a window they can now see as wide open and a sleeping giant that is now being awoken, there's been no time like ever before to document the largest fish this angling community has ever seen.
That's her. Whew, I haven't shaken from a crappie in a while, Bart.
Stuff to go through.
With a new season upon us, we begin, once again, buried in never-ending pines. But this story takes us to a new place as we journey to the north woods of Wisconsin, visiting the historic Hayward Lakes area, home of the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame. And steeped in fishing history, this legendary region has been a beacon to anglers for generations. Its frozen waters carry stories of challenge, tradition, and an overwhelming abundance of the unknown. What secrets will the Hayward area reveal, and what unexpected twists will emerge from the Northwoods? With renewed energy and determination, our team steps into this iconic landscape to test their skills, fully knowledgeable of the gamble they are taking. A region well known for desolate waters that ignite in the flip of a switch. And what our crew is set to run into is the exact fabled sunset flash bites that have been told for generations.
They're on this side of the basin.
Holy, look at it over here.
Clip that, go for it, go for it, clip that. They just rolled off the bottom. Holy shit, look at all those fish.
Nice.
All right, what's going on, everyone? First of all, if people can comment and let us know audio and everything's good, we'll be ready to rock. That is probably the biggest thing. We need to make sure these live streams roll, especially because I think, is this the first one we've ever done, boys, where we're all not in the same location?
Yeah,
I think so.
we're usually right where Waldo's sitting.
Yeah.
Normally where Waldo's sitting, or like we did some at my place back in the day. We did a few at your house, Griff.
That's right, we did, didn't we?
Yeah.
So many.
But yeah, so many different ones. So number one, let us know the audio is good. Just give us a heads up on that. And then also with that, if you guys can swing on over to Facebook, share this all over, kind of tell people to come hang out. We are going to be answering questions, chatting ice fishing, and doing a little midwinter check-in. These things normally run fairly long. But yeah, we're here to chat with you guys as long as you want to chat. And as we're waiting for, as we're waiting for Pink to get here, we're doing some filming and stuff today. So Pink's
He said he
home.
just got home. And
actually, he just tuned in. He's right here. Oh, no, him and I are matching.
I was just.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
I was just at your house and I was wearing this. That's 100% on you.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
that is
putting it on, and I was like,
I'm wearing it all day, dude.
But
Oh,
dude, it's the comfiest sweatshirt we have. It really is. So I guess this is a good authentic plug of if people want to know. So our Chronicle merch will be on sale from today, right now through. It'll be Friday at like midnight. If you use the code, I believe it's live20. You get 20% off the merch on our site. So if you want to scoop anything, go do that. It'll kind of celebrate the end of I guess the Wisconsin videos, a little bit of metro fishing we did to start the year. And yeah, but anyways, boys, you just all want to check in. Pink, Waldo, Griff. We'll start with Pink. Pink, how you been?
Good, dude. I was super sick, which sucked a lot. And now I'm not sick, does not suck as much. So I would say things are good.
Did you get that like stuff that's just been ravaging the Twin Cities lately, it seems like?
Dude, we all got it. What are you talking about? Me, you, and Pink were all like dead.
No.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What exactly I had? I guess I was less concerned about the context of the illness as much as I was just like, wow, this sucks bad. So yeah,
it was bad, dude.
It was not good. Yeah, no, I'm glad it's over with. Feeling a lot better now.
Griff has prided himself for years on I never get sick. I don't get sick. All that.
I got sick. That was
sick.
The first time in a hot minute, dude, that I got sick, and I was just like, "Let me sleep for days, please. Just go away. I'm gonna sleep." That's all I wanted to do. Like that was the crazy thing. It was like I felt terrible, but all I wanted to do was sleep.
Yeah,
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Meanwhile, Waldo's on a beach in Aruba.
I hope you got so sunburnt that you can't even walk, dude.
I did get pretty sunburnt.
Good.
I didn't look like Moses coming out of the mountains though, so that was a success. I thought for sure I was just gonna be burnt to a crisp, but luckily played it safe. Had the blackfish shirts on, made sure I didn't get too sunburned. So it was good. It was a success.
Nice. I like her. All right, so we're gonna get rolling into a bunch of ice fishing talk. We'll touch on some of this stuff a few times throughout this, but just for everybody to know, so. Number one, Thorne Brothers is doing a various amount of sales. I believe they go until tomorrow night at midnight. I'm not 100% confirmed on that at the moment, but that's what I'm going to go off of. So number one, all our Chronicle series rods, which are like literally never on sale. So if you want a Chronicle series rod, whether that's any four of ours or the new Pinnacle or Econical, they're all 10% off at Thorne Brothers if you use the code CC25 at checkout. Along with that, they're running a couple extra sales right now. And they're just doing this for all you Chronicle fans, to be completely honest, because sales across the ice industry are awesome right now. Like stuff is going really good. So they're just trying to help out all you fans that have been helping us over the years. Clam 16,000 BTU heaters are on sale for $110. I think that's about $40 off. And as well as all Clam clothing. So if you need a new ice suit or anything like that, that's just automatically at checkout when you go there. And then the big ticket item. So I found this out the other day. So Thorne Brothers, all their Tika flashes, whether it's
nice
full series or any of the Tika flashes they have, are all 20% off.
That's a steal.
Nice.
Load up.
If you want Tika flashes, you can get them. I know they've been kind of hard to find some places. Thorne Brothers has a good inventory of them. So if you want them, go snag them.
Don't they still have some of our custom colors too?
Yeah, they do have some of our custom color Tika flashes as well. Yeah, so those custom colors are last year's Reverse Wonder Bread Pinhead color is now a Tika flash color.
And flash minnow, right?
Yeah, flash minnow. And that flash minnow does glow. The white paint on it glows. The metallic silver obviously doesn't. But so part of it glows. So yeah, other than that, I'm going to get rolling here. People got questions. A lot of people wondering Bills or Chiefs. That's like the number one thing we're getting.
One of the Bills currently winning, so
who cares?
I would like the Bills to win.
I don't care. I'd rather go fishing than.
I kind of want the Bills to win just so I can watch how many tables they break. Their fans.
Yeah.
There you go. All
You
right.
know, like
Bills.
I love that, dude.
Bills. And I hate that Mahomes does that stupid little thing where he gets to the sideline, stops, and it's like, oh, that's for basketball, buddy. Don't do that in football.
Yeah. Jaden, yeah, Griff schoolie rod is on sale right now. They do have some schoolies in stock as well. So you should be able to get a schoolie and one of the rods.
Yeah, Jaden.
Yeah, you get a good deal on that.
He's apparently got a lake for us to fish. He sent it to me. So it's in Wisconsin. Biggins.
That would be good.
Biggins.
You said 18s, and I was like, okay, buddy. I'm listening.
Limits of 18.
Let's
Right here.
Let's see him on a bump without the mouth open.
Right.
All right, Pinnacle is on sale. Daryl, nice to see you, man. You're always here
What's
for
up,
all
Daryl?
this stuff. Yeah, Marcus, man, good weather coming. Slabs, watch out. Yeah, it would be even better if we could get a little bit of snow. That would help a ton. But they got to eat eventually.
And Marcus just started
would
doing
think.
videos too, so you can check out his YouTube. He's
Yeah,
been doing
Mark-
a bunch of new videos.
Mark's has been a huge fan of us over the years. Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel now. So if you guys
Just
want to check
started
him
it,
out, he's a good dude. Good dude.
Mhm.
All right. So if people want to ask questions and stuff, I mean, just reel them in. Give us what you got. I got a bunch of stuff from an Instagram poll I popped up first. So we'll start ripping through some of that stuff right away. But Griff, you want to talk about how fishing's been around here? You've been out a lot lately. So
Dude, it was super good until today because the pressure literally was like 30.34 all day long. Like ridiculous.
Did you fish yesterday?
Yeah, and smashed them. Smashed. Like everywhere
All
we
day?
went, we smashed them. Yes, all day. Everywhere we went, we were checking stuff. I was helping one of my buddies from the UPL. We were on them. And they went there today. In the UPL, they started on the spot, 0 crappies. They all left. 6 spots they fished, they were all gone. The fish I actually guided on all day today, they were still there, but they did not want to bite. Like yesterday, we had like a 12-inch average for like the 2 hours we were there. My daughter actually got a 14. I think the biggest we got today was a 13 and a 12 3/4, and it was like the first 2 fish. Never caught a fish over 11 inches after that. And we caught like 20 all day in 8 hours. And yesterday we caught 20 in 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, but the pressure literally stayed over 30 all day long.
Yeah.
And so they
got a couple today.
They were just being weird today. Like, yeah, you can catch some, but like they just were not having it, you know?
Yeah. Waldo created a new technique today, and
let's hear your thoughts on
I
this,
really
Griff.
think it could play.
Waldo invented what was it? Slow rolling a pinhead.
Slow rolling a pinhead, dude.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
16
Yeah, I
pounds.
was literally just
How'd you do that?
creeping it. Just
Well,
creeping it. All of a sudden the rod would just start to go. I'm like,
We were out on a lake out by my house, and I mean we found we were just filming and shooting a bunch of random stuff to just kind of tidy up a few things, and we got into a basin and the biggest cloud of little perch I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, wow, whatever. Like, I'm just filming these guys
we were
doing
in
a
like
few
30
things
feet
we don't
of
really
water,
need.
and it was 20 feet of perch.
20 feet of solid fish.
Yeah, I'm like, we don't really need fish. And so Waldo's like trying to catch some or whatever, and they're all little perch, obviously. But he dropped a pinhead down in it, and like he's trying to jig, but they're so little they won't eat it. So he like just started reeling it up slowly through it.
I bumped so many fish.
10-inch crappie. Just reeling
really?
it slowly up through it. Yeah, and then he dealt it back down, did it again. Boom, 9-inch crappie.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't eat it jigging it. He just like was slowly reeling it up.
Slowly
through.
You had to
reeling,
drop
the
it
rod
through
tip would just
15
start
feet
to
of
go.
perch first, and then slowly reel it up.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
awesome.
it was crazy. It was so funny. I think there were just so many fish there. They just would not like.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was
I
crazy.
kept almost swinging and missing because the rod would just like go like this because I was hitting fish as I was reeling it.
All right. We got some comments starting to roll in. Like I said, all right, everybody, go share this around. Get a bunch of people on here. Normally, we got a ton of people hanging out. We got a lot of you right now. Dustin commented this, I think, on the last video, but he just wanted to congratulate us on what this series has become. The production is amazing. Appreciate
you,
it,
Dustin.
man. Wouldn't be where we are today without all you guys. Scott said he went out ice fishing, caught a bunch of fish on our baits.
Very nice.
Cool.
Very
Very
nice.
nice.
Spotted cow, yes or no? Spotted cow's good. I like
Spotted cow's good.
I will say though,
Mm.
in terms of the best beer that New Glarus makes, it's Moon Man. It's not
Yeah,
Spotted
definitely
Cow.
not Spotted Cow.
Yeah, it's so Spotted Cow gets all the publicity, but there's some other ones in there that are good. Clint, is there an 18-incher in the future? We're not
For
gonna
somebody.
spoil. We're not going to spoil that for you.
For somebody. Somebody's going to get one. Maybe
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, there. I'll tell you this: the fish we have on camera right now, in the videos that are coming up, I don't think we've ever filmed bigger fish. I know for sure one of them is definitely bigger. So
Mhm.
you can draw whatever conclusions you want there. We got some really big fish coming. So yeah, it'd be a lot of really good stuff. All right.
It's like pink Froz there. He looks a little funny.
Yeah, he'll be back. That's a common PTB problem. There's a plug for Pass a BARB. If none of you listen to Pass a BARB, you should.
Pretty good.
Okay, here we go.
Slide it in there.
Scott, what's your favorite bait in murky water? I'm guessing 3.5 feet water clarity, muddy.
That's not really that murky, man. 3.5 feet of water clarity. That's not
I'm
bad.
guessing
Dude.
that's the question. But yeah, what do you got? What would you start with there? I think that's kind of moderate water clarity, I would say.
I mean, you could do the chartreuse thing, but like what I like to do in dirty water, and something I do with bass fishing, is I use a lot of darker colors. A lot of guys do. Waldo, pink, Bart. They all use darker colors, black and blue, but like it throws off a bigger profile with the darker bait in dirtier water. So typically I would start with dark or bright white,
Yeah, I would,
either end.
I would agree with that. All right, Daryl has a good question. We can kind of elaborate on this for a sec, kind of talk about fishing this year. The episode where you caught your 17.5, you talked about a small window. Can you help me understand? Is that post frontal meaning? So I'll elaborate this onto to a certain level, I guess. I think so. The biggest thing we've noticed this year with fish, I think fish change every year. The biggest thing this year with lack of snow cover is you need some natural event to happen to get them to snap. And by that, I mean either barometric pressure change, a front, like a weather front, or sunset. So, or sunrise, I guess you could say too, but I always think sunsets are better than sunrise. But Griff, you want to kind of,
they don't bite before 9, remember, Bart?
yeah, they don't bite before 9. No.
Bart
We were
always
right.
said that.
We were right that day. They haven't
Yeah,
seen it yet.
they didn't
but we
bite
were right
before
that day.
they didn't bite before 6 p.m. I mean, what are you talking about?
No,
we chased
but
them around all day. They just didn't bite.
That day, they haven't seen it yet, but that day we are referencing right now, he was like,
Oh,
we
you're
should get there
talking about
early.
that day.
And I said, no, they don't bite until 9. And then we got there and they didn't bite until 1 that day, but still we weren't there at 7.
It wasn't before 9. You're right.
Exactly. But yeah, Griff, you want to talk about that day, kind of the small window that we were anticipating happening, kind of how that day set up a little bit?
Yeah. So, do you want me to give the goods or what?
You can give some of them.
Well, I mean, if I either give them or I give them, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you can talk about it with that one.
okay, so like, basically, it was like a barometric pressure thing. Like, we kind of seen. I can do this like this. We seen something that the barometric pressure does that these fish really like and they react to. We seen it. I'm not going to give it away because like we figured it out. It took us a while. It's not just I'm just going to give it away, but we figured out this area of the barometric pressure. When that happens, those larger fish, tend to get active, and they'll allow you to, even with no snow on the ice, they'll allow you to fish them and get right on top of them, drill on them, and actually catch them. So, it's a barometer thing.
I would say too.
I'm not going
with
to tell
that,
you the exact details, but get
I would
out
say
there
with
and
that
fish
too,
on different
Griff,
barometer.
it's a barometric pressure thing. But what that was related to that day was there was a front coming through.
Yeah,
like we could flat out see a wall of
Right.
clouds coming.
Yeah.
And if you guys listen to the audio in that video, Like there was no snow, and it was very hard for Griff and I to like actually walk and stand because of how windy it got for like 30 to 45 minutes. It was gassing.
Yeah, it was ripping pretty good.
Yeah, so that's kind of that. You're looking for little peak windows because I think a lot of these big fish, the biggest thing is they don't eat all day. They don't eat all the time.
Right.
They eat for a very little bit in a very short window, and then they're done. And a lot of them vanish too. They just kind of go away. You don't even see them anymore.
I'll say, Daryl, if it's over 30, just go home. Just stay home. They ain't gonna bite if you're chasing big ones.
Okay, Waldo, you can kind of elaborate on this, just any flasher style, but how to differentiate the size of fish on a flasher. He has an FLX 28.
The biggest thing would probably be put that unit into low power mode and then fine tuning your gain. And that'll help you be able to tell which fish is going to be larger than the other. Usually on those, like, I mean, it depends on what depth range you're in, but if you're under 20 foot of water, a big one's going to be like a 1/2 inch wide mark, whereas a little one's going to be like a 1/4 of an inch mark or less. So,
well, and they're going to change color based on how dense they are too. So like your color pattern, like they're going to be brighter, whatever the main color is.
Probably just
when they're bigger.
Yeah, it really it just depends, but that's the easiest way to decipher sizing is by the width. Fish, it's all when you're with cone angles, doesn't matter what graph it is. How it works is your colors when your fish enters the cone is going to be weaker, and then when it gets towards the center of your cone, it's going to be stronger. So once that fish is in the center of your cone, how large that fish means that it has more surface area. So that makes your mark look larger. And so the wider the mark, the bigger the fish is. But you got to drop the power output down to be able to tell that on the VEX unit. So put it to low power, manual 20-foot depth range or 10-foot depth range, and you should be fine.
Money. Jeremiah asked major minor moon concept. We've looked at this, and I'm not going to tell you there's any sort of correlation because we don't really know. There might be, but I don't really know. So there tends to be with a lot of big fish, but
across the board for all species.
Yeah, across the board for all species. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, this is like a proven thing that we do.
Right.
I don't really know. I do think when there is a full moon, the night bite tends to be a lot better. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like fish will feed longer, especially
it's brighter in the evening.
Yeah, especially if it's a clear night, because it stays so much brighter, so much longer.
Yeah.
So that's something you can pay attention to there. Pink. So Alex wants to know, are you guys seeing a lot of smaller crappies this year? I'm seeing tons of 8 to 10 all season, but can't seem to find anything bigger.
Yeah, I mean, I guess from kind of what we've been doing, I guess we haven't been seeing a ton of small ones just because of the kind of the way we've been fishing. But I mean, there's still like all these places we're fishing got those metro specials, you know, those like 7 to 9 inchers that are just rampant. And then you kind of have to weed through them because if you just sit on them and catch them, you're probably just going to catch a lot of small ones versus like actually looking around and maybe actually finding groups of bigger ones that are within some of those bigger schools, which is, you know, kind of what we tried to do. So
yeah, you can see them like swimming on the outside of the schools and stuff usually.
Yeah. So if you're around them and you're catching them, that's great. But I would maybe start probing around to see if maybe if you're on bigger schools, if there's parts of those schools that maybe have like larger fish or they're sitting just outside of those really big schools. Can be a good way to at least maybe get a vibe for whether or not you're actually around some big ones. But if you're in a lake that you know has got them, like you got the data that's like, yeah, there's 12, 14, 15 inches in here, I would just keep hopping around, even if you're on fish. Like, feels weird to leave them if you're catching them, but if you're not catching the big ones, you're not sitting on the right fish. So,
I would also add to that. I think there are a lot more smaller fish this year, just based off of, we kind of talked about it in the first video, and a lot more footage will be coming out about it now. But with the lack of fishing pressure the last 2 years, a lot of fish haven't gotten weeded out or just like natural.
There's just a lot of fish in general.
Yeah,
like,
just like natural, I mean, the way of life. Like there's just, lakes are fertile right now. There's a lot of fish in them. So if you go out there and selectively harvest the right way, like, dude, I think almost every lake in the cities right now has an abundant population of, like Alex said, 8 to 10 inch crappies. You can keep a bunch of 9 to 10 inchers and have a great meal. I mean, the lake will keep doing great because these lakes are doing awesome right now. They're in a great place to do really good for a long time. We do need to take some fish out of them. That's kind of the way the natural cycle works, but we want to take the right fish out of the lake, which is your 9 to 12 inch eaters. And kind of for people to imagine that, it's kind of, so the way that selective harvest works, it's like a pyramid, right? So like, we don't want to take out the top level, which is those really top level fish. You want to take out kind of that mid level where there's still a good population of them. And they can exceed to get bigger, but you can't wipe out the whole top of that pyramid. Otherwise it doesn't backfill. That's not really the way panfish work.
Right, but explain
so yeah.
explain that pyramid a little more. So you got the bottom part, which is your small fish. There's
And there's way more of
thousands
them.
and thousands of them, and then as you work up, you get less. So when you get to the top, there's less of those big ones, but those big ones have the biggest effect on the rest of the pyramid.
Exactly. That's precisely how it works. So yeah, I mean, there's a ton of fish in all the lakes right now. Like, I don't think I've been to a lake this year that I've looked around with live or fish that have been like, man, it seems dead.
But it pays to look around, because even on like some of these lakes that we've been fishing where there are like really big ones, there's also tons of not big ones.
Yes, substantial amounts. We just don't show you guys though, because it's really not entertaining and we don't enjoy catching them.
Yeah.
Jeff wants to know, do you guys ever use live bait?
Not always. Pretty much
unless we're doing blade jigging.
Yeah.
Basically.
Or throwing some tip ups out, but we don't. I mean, with the like basin fishing, it's really kind of tough.
Yeah.
Pink, where do I find the recipe from your last video, the pot stickers?
Well, I mean, I guess just go from the video, but it's not in the cookbook. We do have a great cookbook, but the pot stickers are not in there. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to come up with another sort of, conglomeration of recipes that someone could maybe read.
Big words.
Yeah, just don't say you got to be very careful with your words, because if you say something the wrong way, you're gonna have to do it. So
right.
Everyone's gonna be like, oh, Pink's coming out with another.
So just watch the video like 30, 40 times. You'll be dialed.
You timed out, Pink, and someone said Pink's Wi-Fi is comical.
Dude, it's so bad. Like, it's not even debatable. It's awful. So bad.
Pretty bad.
Terrible.
Buy some more merch so I can get new Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Need fiber optic, dude.
All right. Random question, but what is everyone's PB walleye? Actually, this is a good question because I don't really know. I think mine. I caught a 30 3/4 on Mille Lacs smallmouth fish in a long time, probably 6 years ago. Yeah, it was not heavy though. That's when the Mille Lacs fish were not built. It was very long and very lean.
I got a 31 1/4 on Minnetonka. Actually, targeting them. I caught bigger ones catfishing, but I don't count those because you reel them in like minnows. So.
Because you got your broomstick out there.
Yeah, they're eating bullheads, and you're just like, well, here you go. This big old thing.
I got a 31 1/4 that I got north of Mille Lacs when I was just fun bass fishing. Absolutely smoked an underspin. And then my other one would be 30 1/2 on Mille Lacs while smallmouth fishing as well. Actually, no, we took a break from smallmouth fishing. I pitched a jig and minnow out because I thought they were walleyes, and they were big ones. That was a crug, actually, giant.
Oh yeah, that thing was crazy looking too.
It had warts all over its face. It was it was just over 10 pounds. I think it was like 10.14 or 10.14.
Oh yeah,
it was a big one.
Yeah, I still haven't broken 30. I got a 29 that I caught out of my kayak in a little puddle by my house that absolutely gagged on a chatterbait, and it died. And then I ate it.
Well, I mean, at least you ate it.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But yeah, 29 out of the yak though. That was pretty cool.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
All right. It's a good question for everybody all around. What's your favorite pinhead to use? So if you got to tie on one pinhead, what are you going for?
Dang.
I like that hot perch color in a 16th ounce. Probably like
Our exclusive perfect perch color at Thorne Brothers he's talking about.
Yeah, it's yeah.
It's the deal. It is a dope one.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like if you had to pick one, that's the one you'd pick.
I think I would. Yeah.
Okay.
Waldo?
Mine would probably be, I love the 1/8 ouncer. It's just so much fun because it just bombs down to the fish immediately. So I would pick, if I had to pick one for anywhere I would go, it would be that hot pink one. And that, I think they call it glow red, but it's hot pink, and it would be that 1/8 ounce size. I love that bait.
Griff?
If I had to pick one overall, it would be a Wonder Bread version of one of them. I don't know exactly which one, but I'd say white probably the most. Wonder
I
Bread.
thought you were gonna take Perp Shadow, no doubt.
Yeah, same.
I love that bait, but I think if I had to pick one for overall situations, would be Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
See, I thought he was gonna say the Patriot color, and then I'd have to pop up the logo.
Tell him that's absolutely not called the
That's not what
Patriot.
it's called.
Yeah.
I
Not
will
even
say
close,
one of my
actually.
new favorite ones though is Pink's Perfect Perch in a 1/32 ounce for bluegills. I've been
think
using
that's
that a lot this year, and it slaps.
We caught him pretty good on that one today.
Yeah,
The
That was
32nd.
probably one of the 32nd. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it's just
silver
so
with the
deadly.
black
It's a
back
little
was
perch.
the
Oh,
best
it's
too.
just money.
I would probably say mine would be Purple Shadow.
You were
but
gonna say it. Though.
I would also say that people have probably picked up on this from the 5 seasons of videos. If it's a pinhead bite, I don't really catch them. So I'm not very
I
good
don't know
at
if you're
fishing.
qualified to answer this question.
I'm not qualified to answer this question. I'm not.
Barty
I'm not a
don't
good
like
pin-
pinhead.
I'm not a
Yeah,
good.
no.
I'm not a good pinhead fisherman. I'm getting
No.
better at it. Getting way better at it. But gosh, I am not good at that cadence. So
Yeah.
we're picking it up. We're getting better at it. But that is definitely not my bread and butter. All right, Blake, best jig and plastic combo, size and color. So we can do that one going around right now too. So if you had to pick one right now to roll with, what do you got tied up, Pink?
I got that 4 mil drop kick. I got the black and white swirled drop kick one I really like. And then I've been like my starter has been that plum apple one on the black and white swirl drop a lot this year, but I mean that or black and white is hard to beat. So
But what bait though? He's just saying the color.
oh sorry, the soldier fly on that same drop kick.
Yep. I'd say
Well-
4 mil black chartreuse drop kick with a soldier fly of any sort, color, whatever.
Yeah.
Waldo, is that yours? The confetti drop XL?
Yeah, the confetti drop with the black and red dots, and then a plum apple soldier. That or the
That's
black
better.
soldier.
Plum apple's been pretty good, but like I mean,
Good
yeah,
apple.
it's
Yeah,
hard to
like
beat.
you hold it up to the light, it's kind of brownish. It's a really good color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The black has been good too, though.
Yeah.
I caught.
Yeah,
some
the black and silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will mine will say as of right now, just what I'm always feeling is that 4 or 5 mil black and chartreuse drop kick. And I'm gonna go with the white Mackie minnow heads.
You like
I've
that
caught
thing.
I've caught a lot of big fish on it in the last year. I had not used it much until last year when I went into Thorne Brothers looking for white Mackies, and they were sold out. So I got some of those minnow heads. They are very good.
And
I would highly recommend.
And then you
them.
caught how many 16s on it?
Well, I can't give that number out because there's more of them coming. So
Before, previous. Sorry.
previous 5, 4. Yeah, up until this point, 4.
No, you got 5, didn't you?
5. Yeah, it might be 5. Yeah, it is 5. Well, I'm losing Griff. I'm losing you on your Wi-Fi. You're
Yeah,
getting
we're
away
losing
from
you,
your
Griff.
router.
Because he's going into the dungeon. dude.
Nope.
Like,
Yeah.
You sound like
No, I
a
was
robot.
walking out from the dungeon. There we go.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Now
not a
you're right.
robot. You had to get out of the
Okay.
dungeon. I think.
Oh, here we go. Jason Seamark, I believe that's how you say his last name. But hey, guys, part of the 3% from Canada that watch all your videos and listen to PTB. Love that. My
Awesome.
man.
Love it.
Pass the BARB if you guys haven't heard.
Beauty.
number one on
barotrauma,
world.
best barotrauma change, low to high or high to low. I think it depends on the lake, to be very honest. Each lake's different. The fish act differently, and I will say they trigger to different things. Generally speaking, I think fishing will generally be the best on dropping, but I don't know. You guys can add on onto that.
I would agree. Gradually
Again, like
dropping
slowly
pressure.
drop. Yeah, gradual.
Yeah, gradual dropping pressure is usually our favorite days. If there's any snow too, or like precipitation coming down, we've whacked them pretty good when that's happening too.
Yeah, you can say slower than faster is better. You don't want the hyper drop or raise, whatever. You know, you're not gonna. It's not gonna work out.
If it's like a roller coaster, it's probably not going to be ideal.
Yeah, but whoever asked that question about like majors and minors and stuff, it does seem like if you can correlate that to be during when one of these is, like if that lines up, that can be a really good time, you know?
Yeah. So finding floodplain lakes on Onyx, don't know what to look for. I would recommend looking for floodplain lakes on Google Earth.
Yeah. Because and plus tons of the ones that are good don't have good data because
they're not surveyed. They're not even marked as like a lake on Onyx fish for the most part. They're just part of the river.
Plus they winter kill often enough or whatever that sometimes there's literally no fish in them. So.
And we're mostly using Onyx fish for just property lines and stuff when we're doing those floodplain backwaters just to make sure we're on state land.
But it doesn't mean you couldn't use it for that. But yeah.
And the nice thing is it'll show you if it's frozen or not with the recent satellite imagery.
That is actually really good. Or at least get like how to get to the places too.
Yeah, but for finding them, to be honest, it's just trial and error.
Yeah.
But Google Earth, how many times have you gone to one backwater this year that we smacked them on last year and it hasn't been great? Like, it's just every year it changes.
Yeah. But you got to try. Like you don't know unless you go there or you talk to somebody that did go there. So
absolutely.
Did you ever fish a Chippewa flowage when you were in Hayward? We normally don't talk about where we fish or anything, but I will say no, we did not. And that's just I don't think the ice was very good. We were there pretty early ice.
Couldn't even use machines.
Plus that place,
flowage.
Yeah,
and that place is big.
It's big, and we couldn't use machines yet, so like it would have been really hard. So no, we did not make it to the Chippewa flowage when we were in Hayward, but there's a lot. That's the nice thing about that area. There's so many options. We fished 3 lakes every day, I think.
Minimum.
So like you can get around and check a lot of water pretty quickly.
I will say 90% of them don't bother fishing them before sunset.
My feet hurt still.
But you don't really know that.
You got to try it.
You got to try.
It's just like
Some right in the middle of the day. So I don't know. It's an interesting place.
It was weird.
When they're biting, they're biting. Like they're really biting.
Yeah, they're not hard to get.
When to use bright colors? When to use darker colors? If you guys want to take that away.
Well, I don't think there's like necessarily just
There's not a formula.
Generally speaking, so first I'll say this. I am up north. My water clarity is 10 to 20 feet.
I'm using a dark, natural bait.
Dude, but yesterday, so here's the thing. I can give you some like real world experience with that. Yesterday, crystal clear water of Lake Minnetonka, chartreuse with the orange belly, the one I caught him on, you know what lake?
Yeah.
Was the deal. Today, silver with the black back.
Yeah. Got to keep changing.
Well, like Griff, when I talked to you the other
I'm just saying it's crystal clear water. Like it was 2 totally different, like more natural. And then yesterday was like the brightest thing in the world.
But like, okay, so I go out and on a bite, Griff was telling me he was out on this lake and he's like, oh yeah, just go out here, look around, you'll find them. And then he was catching them on, I want to say like a white, like some brighter color. And I went there, found the fish, and they were like super finicky. Couldn't get them to go. Literally switched to a darker color, even though Griff, you were just there whacking them on a light color. I go to a black, and it was just vapor trails. Go back to white, couldn't even get bit. So it was like even day to day, like some of these places. So I feel like sometimes I just start with what I have tied on, and if they don't like it, then I switch. You know what I mean? Versus,
and a lot of times going from one extreme to the other is a good idea. You know, like you said, you went from white to black. Like you went from each end of the spectrum right away.
Of white,
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's hard to like put a pin on that and be like, oh, if it's clear water and the sun's out, like use a bright
Yeah.
color versus like I don't know.
Because a lot of times it doesn't make sense. You use a bright color in clear water and you whack them, and you're just like,
Yeah,
well,
like
that
if you drop it
shouldn't
down and
be
they don't
the deal.
smash it, try something else.
Right. Yep.
Okay. We're going to get to more questions, but just an update for everybody because I just heard from Thorne Brothers. So the automatic discount. So when you check out there, so if you're getting a Clam 16,000 heater on sale for $110 and all the Clam clothing, that's 30% off, as well as Tika flashes being 20% off for all their colors, including our exclusive colors. That deal is all week. So if you buy them online till Friday, you got all week. And to clarify, if you're going to get one of our Chronicle series rods, those are 10% off for the next 24 hours. So till tomorrow night at midnight. So you want to hop on that immediately if you're going to go that way. So anyways, back to questions now. Jim asked, is Thorne Brothers restocking your odds this season, or are they all gone till next season? They actually just made more. They had sold out of a couple models, but there's more. So if you're looking for one, you should be able to hop on over there or give them a call if you don't see it on the website or on the shelf. I know they've had a lot of traffic this year, so they're constantly restocking. So if you go in there looking for something and it's not on the shelf, ask them because it's probably just behind.
Plus, they make them there. So, like, even if they run out, if you want, they'll write one up for you and get it built. So,
yes,
Mhm.
Yep, exactly.
Make you a freshie.
yeah.
Not a fishing question. Pink, are you going turkey hunting this year, or have you ever went turkey hunting?
I will absolutely be going turkey hunting this year. And yes, I have been turkey hunting. So
Yeah, I actually drew an out-of-state tag for turkeys this year. I'm going to be turkey hunting Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do Minnesota, and I might potentially go to Washington if I can figure out the time to do it. So
Sweet. That'd be
Merriams,
fun.
baby. That'll be fun shooting some pure Merriams.
that's what I want to do. So it's like if I can make the timing work, I want to do it, but
Yeah.
it's tough. But I got a
Dude,
buddy. out there,
Merriams are
so-
so sick. Bart, think of a normal turkey, and you know how like they'll do like the gobbling and get pissed off at like vehicles and stuff. These things are way more talkative and just crazy, and they're smaller, so they're like little Roombas that just squawk at you. They're stinking nuts.
They got the frosted tips, dude.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. Sarah wanted to know, can you give her some encouragement to make a 4-hour drive after working the night shift to make a guide trip for PB perch? That no sleep grind for me.
Oh, you got this. You got this.
Yeah,
Come
you can
on.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna want to Google Alani.
You might need the big dogs, though. You might need a
Well,
rain.
but you got to ease in. You don't
Yeah,
just
that's
go,
fair.
0 to 100 right now.
Yeah.
Ease in. You get some big dog. You get some reins. You get some bangs for the ride home. You're gonna be cloud 9 on the way there.
Caffeine.
Yeah. The ride home is really what you got to worry about. The drive there
Get you
ain't going to
some
be bad.
cosmic stardust. Send it.
Yeah. Do it. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Dustin wants to know, why haven't we ditched the Vex and gone all in on live? I'm assuming that's just at the flasher units in general. So the way we fish, we move very quickly, and with live, it is very inefficient to hole hop with. That would be the
Extremely.
best way I would explain it.
Yeah. And like when we do this tag team deal, it just makes no sense to do it like that. But like if you're stationary fishing in an ice house, we would all be using the live in the down mode if we're not moving around and we're just camping on a spot. But we rarely ever do that because we like to sharpshoot fish. So we're always doing a 2D sonar paired with a live unit because we're just way more efficient fishing that way. We've tried it other ways, and it ruins the efficiency and how quick we move.
Yeah,
Or
I
just
would.
how fast you can get a bait down. Like just the fact drilling
Yeah.
a hole, putting that deucer in, still getting your bait down. Even if you hook a fish, then now getting that out. Like
Yeah,
a lot
trying
going
to fight
on.
a fish through the hole, like the same hole that you're fishing out of with a live unit, is just a nightmare.
yeah,
Yeah.
because a
and
lot
I-
of times we only get to drill one hole on a school before they're gone.
yeah.
Maybe. And yeah, sometimes
Maybe,
we can't
yeah.
even get on top of
Yeah,
them
they
like
move
that.
so fast.
Yeah, it's just you're way more efficient using both 2D sonar and forward facing. as the tools that each of them are. And the same thing, we'll ditch a forward facing when we're fishing inside the weeds because it can't shoot between the weeds very easily. So we'll use it to help us find weed beds. But once we're inside the weed bed, we drop down the camera or for species identification. So each piece of electronics that we use is a tool intended for specific purposes to make us more efficient.
Yeah. And I would say, just to elaborate on that. So if you're ice fishing, then you're debating between it. I would say if you mainly target panfish, I think the best way to go about it is the way we do it, whether it's bluegill, perch, crappie. Like, I just think it's the best way to do it because you got to be moving. If you're a walleye guy, lake trout, you're kind of posting up, stuff like that, then, you know, you're forward facing or Mega Live 2, Mega Live 1, whatever it is in down mode, going to be a good option for you. Like, you can use that too. So if you're going to go out and get after it like us, that's kind of the reason. You can't, it's just not really feasible to do what we do with only one.
But we do fish as a team as well, though. So it's like, if you're just one guy, I mean, I can see the appeal of just the one unit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like not sacrificing, not having live. So it's like, I get it. But
it really comes down to your style of fishing. If you're a guy that likes to go and post up in a basin, absolutely the live will be awesome. But if you're a guy that does what we do and you run and gun, your efficiency is maxed out when you're using, you know, both like a Humminbird Helix unit and the Mega Live unit. So
plus in like there's a lot of variables, I suppose. Like that's our system, and that's just
we stick to it. We've developed a pretty good system over the last 5 years, and we all know what each other are thinking when we're on the spots, so it makes it very easy that we're all on the same page on how we attack things.
And then Daryl wanted to know, I guess we can all talk about this to some level, but like, how have we been liking running the birds so far this year? Been
Very
really
nice.
good. Honestly, they're great.
They were great.
Yeah,
they've been
super
really good.
easy to see screens. I love it so far. Yeah, it's been really fun this year using those Helix 7s.
Yeah, and I like the shuttle too, because I will say that I've been treating mine like absolute trash, and no, like totally fine. So
yeah, I would agree with that. I really like their shuttle, how clean it is. The rod holders are awesome because you can fit a schoolie in it. Honestly, the best thing for me this year has been that it has mapping on the unit, so having like a lake master tip in there is great.
That's
also
huge.
Low key, when I'm out on a lake by myself and the sun sets and it's glare ice and there's no snow I can walk across, I have forgotten where my snowmobile is. And I'm like, well, if I follow this track, I'll find it. So I have used it multiple times to do that this year, because there is no way to find like, I'm in the middle of the lake and I'm like, I don't know where it is right now. It's so dark out here. I have no clue. I would say having a map is really nice as well.
And then the new live is
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very good.
Well, yeah,
like literally,
you guys want to talk about?
I'm probably on.
Well, we got Griff on radio.
Oh,
now
who's got the bad Wi-Fi? Okay.
Well, it's because Griff can't stay still. He's walking throughout his whole house. His phone's switching from 4 Wi-Fi routers right now.
he's connected to the neighbors, dude. Like,
sounds like a jockey, or not a jockey. Is it what's a radio
he
host?
Just came back. Let him back.
Yeah, I'll let him.
Let me in.
Let me in.
Sorry, I'm trying to take care of a 5-year-old at the same time. So give me a break.
That's fine. We're good.
DJ Griff over there.
What?
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
I was going to ask you about the Explorer and the Mega.
Oh yeah,
it's sweet.
Yeah, we were watching Griff's Pinhead drop at like 100 feet on fish. It was just wild.
Dude, I was watching like a 50-inch muskie last night swim up to my buddy's bait. Like, I'm like, drop it lower. And he's like, what? And I'm like 50 feet from him, and I see it go down, and I'm like, right there. And the muskie just swims over to him, and like thing's like 5 feet long. Like, it was a giant muskie. I had it on the 5-foot increment, and it was taking up the entire first 5 feet of the graph.
Holy crap.
Yeesh.
Yeah, but it was cool because it was like I could see his bait, and I'm like, lower. And it just swims right over to it, and I'm like, Well, you're in a 6-inch hole. I don't think you're gonna get that up there anyway. Like, so he just brought his bait up out of the hole. Like, yeah, I probably shouldn't catch that, huh? And I'm like, no, because it's literally staring at your bait. Like, I'm gonna eat that.
It is wicked how far you can see like an ice jig on that screen.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know how
not
quick
Dude,
it
you
is.
can see him at like 90 feet. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy to see a pinhead dropping down at 90 feet. You're like, really?
Yeah.
I think the
Holy
coolest
cow.
thing is you kind of take it for granted with our phones and everything how quick they are these days. Like,
Like the
fishing
response
boat
times
electronics
and-
are not that quick. That Explorer unit is that quick.
Mhm.
It's like you're going through an iPad or your phone or whatever. It's so quick.
Yep.
So, yeah, I've been really
And
impressed.
I fished with it in down mode today for the first time. That was sweet. Like, you could tell exactly what size every fish was coming through. You're like, I want that one, that one, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kendall
pretty
wants to know if we're planning on going back to Maine at any time.
Funny
I
thing
don't-
is, we were just talking about that today.
yeah,
Mhm.
eventually we'll be back. Yeah,
It's
when
definitely
And I
that
got a
time
text-
frame
on the
is, I
bucket
have no
list.
idea. But
Did you
It's on the
guys
bucket
get a
list.
video from Joe Holland today?
No.
no.
From Maine? So he sent me a video, and he's got the bump board there, and all he sends me a video is of the tail of a crappie, and it's at the just short of 19 inches, like this much short.
Really?
And I'm like, wow. And then he pans over, and it's like 6 inches over from the end of the bump board. He goes, up. And he pans back, and I was like, oh, you bastard. I was like, I thought you got a 19-incher. And then it was like a 14-incher. I'm like, you shithead.
That's funny.
Well, he should have just went and caught a 19. They got tons of
It
them.
was funny, though. He just like pans down, and also he's like, oh, and he pans back. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I seen that.
Need Onyx fish for Android? Yeah, they're working on it. You can still use it on the web browser. So
Yeah.
I know it's not necessarily an app, but you can do all the same things
People
on the web
hate
browser.
hearing that.
I know.
Yeah, I've worked on
Why?
apps
I mean, I
Well,
do
you
the
know
same
what?
thing. It
Don't
works
get an
just fine.
Android. You won't screw up your friends' group text anymore, too. Everyone
Yeah.
will love you.
Griff.
I guess you won't find any cool lakes. Sorry.
You
Sorry.
can still use it on the web browser, but
Yeah, no,
it
it's fine.
So like when you're doing apps, it's very fast on iOS side. Google Play, it absolutely takes forever to upload an app to. So it always takes longer in every app. When I was working at Vex and we had the Sonar Phone app, same thing. Took forever to get it on Android.
They're working on it.
Yeah, it'll be soon.
Why do you guys think some lakes have a night bite and some lakes shut off? Are the fish sliding up shallower on structure and I'm not able to find them, or do they scatter? So I
The
think
answer is yes.
I think this is a really good topic actually to dive into based off of what we have learned from forward-facing sonar over the last 5 years. I remember growing up as a kid, everyone talks about night bites. This is when all the big ones bite, all these theories. And I have now spent hundreds of days probably on a lake when the sun has gone down to 3 to 5 hours after the sun has gone down looking at fish. Don't think I've ever seen fish get more active when it got darker. It's just a matter of a lot of them sink to the bottom, or like we call it zombie mode, and they just like go solo and start roaming around. And those fish that are roaming around are very large, but they're kind of like they're not active and looking to eat. I think a lot of those big fish people have caught at night kind of randomly is with, it's a shiner down a hole and they swim by and they happen to bite it. But to be very actively targeting them, I think the more we've learned over the years, a lot of these lakes shut off at night unless you have the right moon or night conditions.
And we see a lot of
yeah.
times where even the schools, just as it progressively gets darker, the schools just break apart.
Right.
Like
So
the
you think
schools
like
that
they're
you've been
in it.
chasing. Yeah.
So now you think about that, like, is there inactivity because of them spreading out and they're not being together? Because now, there was competition when they were together, right? And so now they're like, hey, I'm 50 feet from my buddy. He ain't going to eat this minnow. It's me. So he's less active to eat it, but he's still feeding on an extent of, some extent.
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
and a lot of the
they're
lake
eating,
we
these
fish,
big ones are getting caught in the middle of the night,
yeah. And a lot of the lakes we fish have so many bugs that come up off the bottom
Right.
when it gets dark, it's almost impossible to even fish.
Right.
Yeah.
Do those things just say, I'm going to open my mouth and swim through the water and just eat bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
How
like,
easy is that? They don't even have to expend any energy. You know, they're not
Yeah.
chasing anything.
I do think there's something to weed bites and night bites as well.
for
And
sure.
we've got to get back into that. But I mean,
I think it's predicated on weeds, though. I
Yeah.
don't think like the people who are like, "Oh, this nighttime basin bite's legit." I
I
have
don't think so, dude.
I have never seen that be a thing. Now that we've had forward-facing sonar, all I see is a lake completely die and just.
It's
if
not like you
life
couldn't
of-
catch one, but it's
Yeah.
like it's
It's
such
the
low
perfect time to
percentage.
put a minnow down and drink a beer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But if you're gonna go fish weeds on a shallow flat and stuff, I think that's where you then have your opportunity. Because in that position in weeds, you are looking for fish that are coming there to actively feed. In a
Yeah.
basin at night, they're just chilling, dude. They're just
And
going
it
to bed.
tends to be on lakes that have a lot more water clarity too, where
Yes.
like bites like that exist. But
But I noticed that also when, like, if the crappies live in the basin during the day, right? So they're out there all day. They typically don't bite at night. But like you see, like the big ass bluegill schools, sorry,
yeah,
out there during the day, and then at night it like switches to crappies. That's kind of how it's going out on Tonka right now. It's like if you're on bluegills during the day,
Mhm.
as soon as it gets dark, it turns into crappies. But if you're on crappies during the day, at night, nothing.
Yeah.
weird.
So they're definitely moving. You know what I mean? Like there's basin fish, but like the weed fish, like you said, those fish that are there during the day are probably going into the weeds at night, you know, and disappearing. So
Yeah.
Hellabass commented, just eat more pike, save the chatterbaits. Pink,
yeah, no
Matt,
shit.
Rich, we got you. We cooked a pike tonight.
We did. We ate pike. Like just,
Everyone will
like,
see it
2
on a
hours
video.
ago.
Yeah, we ate pike. I had
yeah.
that for dinner, so we did our job.
marked pike.
Really?
Got him.
Oh yeah,
He's dead.
Got him.
it was bomb.
I'm sad I missed
It was the pike. It was the pike that died on Mender, Chuck.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the one I cleaned on the bottom of my
Tasty.
sled in the parking lot. That
Yeah.
one.
oh, that one?
Yeah.
That one's been there.
half
That
of
was
it. I ate half of it already.
he was aged.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, a week old pike. Good
Well,
times.
it's just been sitting outside. Like what?
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
Greg had a question. So it was a two-part. He asked a question higher, and then he clarified lower. But he said, crushed on the soldier fly this weekend in the BL area. Can you tell us the correct jig size to pair? I'm assuming with the soldier fly and the flutter fry because it's the larger NIKU plastics that he referenced. So Griff,
Yeah, so-
4 and 5 mil jigs.
Soldier fly 4 and 5 mil drop kick.
Mm-hmm.
Waldo,
or
you
drop
do the
XL, confetti drop XLs.
yeah. But with the soldier fly, if you get the hook going too far back with those XL hooks, it doesn't really work. So those are more for the flutter fry.
Yeah, you
But,
can't
like-
use.
It's the best on a drop kick.
Yeah, on the
Yes.
for the soldier. Yep, like I'd agree. 4 or 5 mil.
Mm-hmm.
You do the extended hook, the XL. It's a little too long, but works great for the flutter fry. Absolutely.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
4
or on
mil XL is fine on the soldier. It's the 5 mil that's a little big.
Yeah, and if you're
'Cause,
not
yeah,
fishing,
this is what it looks like. This is a 4 mil, and it's the hook size is just fine.
Right. But once you start pushing that hook shank back, it changes the bait.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're not fishing,
If you
super
go any
deep
bigger
water
than this guy,
for that flutter fry,
too
the
big.
drop TG is the deal.
Yeah, it's going to change the whole action of the bait.
yeah, this is a drop TG on the soldier or on the flutter.
Put your hand
Yeah,
behind it.
Which
Waldo.
it's a 1/32 ounce jig because the 1/16 the
That's
hook's too
money
big.
right there.
Yeah,
But
you want
that-
your hook to
but
be that size.
I will tell you,
Yeah,
if you're
right there.
fishing deep water, this sucks because it takes so damn long for it to sink.
Yeah.
But
Yep. So I think Northland makes a jig that's about that size. There's some. I mean, there are other people that
The
make
VMC,
jigs that
the
have a hook
Mooneye.
size.
the
The
VMC
VMC
Mooneye and a
is the
16th
deal.
ounce is the exact hook size. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And
So
it's
we're
right.
we're working on some other stuff. Obviously, there will be more stuff coming in the coming years, but that's what you can look for right now.
Yeah.
Marcus wants to know if we're going to get a spin-off series chasing a 13-inch bluegill. No. because that's even harder than the 18-inch crappie. And we haven't successfully accomplished that on the videos we've posted thus far. So, yeah, no, not signing up for that again.
Who's cleaning all these bluegills?
And Waldo's the only one who likes bluegills anyway. So
I already caught a 12-incher. I don't need another one. I'm good. What's your most disappointing fish to catch while chasing crappies? It is approximately a 2.32 pound bass. And I'm a bass fisherman.
No, the sucker I caught on the lake. That was the most disappointing fish I've ever caught doing this series.
That was a PB, dude. Don't even lie.
I don't care, dude. I was so disappointed. I was like, look at this mark. I caught it. I hooked it, and I'm like, Bart, it's her. And I fought it for 2-3 minutes, and it was like a 6-pound sucker.
Season 2?
Yeah, but out here.
Yeah, that was right after we learned what carp were on.
Michigan, I mean.
Yeah.
That thing had some lips on it, though, dude.
It was big. I would like
it came up the hole, and I was just like, "Are you serious?"
I would say, in generality, if we're not referring to one single fish, it has to be a 2 1/4 to 2 3/4 pound largemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
largemouths are. It feels like a big crappie.
Feels like her, dude.
Every single time, and they act the exact same way when they come to eat a bait.
Agree.
But as soon as you hook them, you know, because they don't do the like a crappie does that slow, like just you know. They
I almost think
the
bigger the bass, the more it feels like a crappie.
Yes,
like those ones
they
that
do
we were
the slower
catching,
head shake.
Those ones, Griff, that we caught when we were out, those like 5.5 to 6 pounders. It was like about halfway through the fight, you're like, okay, but like for the first half,
is
you're
it? Yeah, is it? Like she's slow head shaking and everything. And you're like, yup. And then you're like,
pull off like 3 or 4 feet of line.
Yeah. And then you're like, all right, a minute and a half into it, you're like, yeah, this isn't a crappie.
but then it's less disappointing because then it comes up the hole and you're like, I mean, that's a 6 pounder. Like,
yeah, right. You're not pissed. You're like, yep, that's big.
Yep. Machner with a great question here. What's your favorite big bait if you want to avoid those fish, say, under 12 inches?
8-ounce pinhead.
That's our homie Scott from Ottertail County. He has a lot of 12 inches to try to avoid. So
that guy, or the
flut, or the 1/8 ounce pinhead.
Yeah, either one of those.
Should go fish with him. He's got a good spot up there.
What's your guys' favorite Tikka flash color? For me, it's not been a great bait because it gets stuck on itself, even when I take off the swivel. Any tips on this specific topic?
Yeah, don't jig it so hard.
And put a bigger hook on it.
Yeah, but you're overly aggressively jigging it because if you do the crazy jig, like you do with like a pinhead and stuff, it's going to hook itself. So you got to be more like methodical about
swimming.
You're more swimming it like a plastic than you are jigging it like a
blade to flap around.
Yeah, really you don't want to jerk it all over in the water column because all it's going to do is jump and hook itself.
Yeah, you fish a pinhead way more aggressively. You want to tone it down for a Tikka and just pump it.
But if you upsize the hook, it does help with it catching that on the tail, which is pretty common with that bait. But the I like the pink one, dude. The pink or the Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
Kind of the
and then when you set the hook, just reel into them. Don't set the hook.
Well,
don't jerk it because it like flies that bait forward for some reason and opens their mouth. So just like reel into it, like just reel down and lift. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna rip through a bunch of these here quick because I am way behind on comments and questions right now. So,
come on, Mark.
Well, I mean, we've just been doing a good job explaining stuff.
I guess.
Ever gonna have exclusive colors in Tikka Flash? Yeah, that's
we do.
Thorne Brothers. You can go there right now. There's 2 of them.
Yep. Purple. No, reverse Wonder Bread and Flash Minnow.
Yep, they're very good. We talked about this, but when targeting big crappie, what size bait are you starting with? We normally start with a 1/8 ounce pinhead to see if they'll eat it.
Yeah.
This is a great question that we can talk about quick. How do you decide whether to jig until they bite or stop jigging until they bite? Whatever you're doing when they show up on your screen, don't stop doing that.
Yeah. Read the fish.
Yeah.
Read them. That's the biggest thing is people don't do is they don't read the action of the fish they're fishing for. Every fish is different. Watch what he's doing on your graph. If he's interested in something, do that.
Yeah.
And if they didn't
Don't
bite it,
stop
don't
doing
keep doing that.
Yeah, don't do that. If
Yes.
they don't bite it, don't do that anymore.
What do you guys like for backing on schoolies? Just
I don't know. There's like
more
3
line?
different ways you can do like rubber
electrical
bands.
tape is awesome.
You can do electrical tape. I personally just have like
Rubber bands.
yeah, you can do rubber bands. Like I personally, I just keep my line on from the year before,
And then just keep
and
putting
just
more
keep
line on.
and just keep putting more line on to build up the spool.
And about by the time that schoolie's ready to break, you finally have enough line on it to make it
Yep.
worth it when you do it the next time.
Yep.
Yeah, I took like electrical tape and I put it on there and then I like twisted it really a lot and then like wound it around so it was really fat. That worked really good.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do it.
Have you guys noticed the lack of snow making the crappies more skittish?
Yes.
We talked. What's up, Justin? By the way,
Yes.
like arguably our #1 fan. Have you guys noticed the lack of snow making crappies more skittish? Yeah, 100%, like
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Mhm.
But you just got to think. We talked about it a bit at the beginning, but if you think creatively and just kind of focus on certain changes in the day or certain days, there's days where they're just, I mean, they're coming unhinged, but they're definitely aware of people's presence this year. And it's just figuring out how to maneuver around that. We have a really good Expose the Ice video from last year about targeting pressured fish around people. I think if everybody went back and watched that video now, that is a very good video to watch right now for kind of stuff that's going on these lakes, especially now that I think it's pretty hard to drive by a lake that doesn't have 10 ice houses like permanents on it at a minimum.
Dude, it's great. It's crazy out there this year. How many people are out?
Yeah.
You go to Tonka, there's thousands of people. Like they're everywhere. Most people I've seen in probably 10 years on Tonka. Like they're everywhere. Same with Maconia too. They're just everywhere on Maconia.
Harvest, dude.
Your thoughts on the Onyx fishing app in Wisconsin? It was,
It was a
Awesome.
huge help for us.
we did that whole trip based off of Onyx, literally.
Yeah.
So,
Dude, and like even just sitting down, like going through it, even after that trip, just like looking at areas that I've fished like in the boat, like in the summertime and looking at other species of fish, being like, dude, I got hella plans just from using that app alone.
Right.
yeah, I would definitely recommend downloading it. If you guys do have Onyx questions, you can ask a bunch of them. I can screen share here and we'll roll through a bunch of different features, but just let us know what you want us to know about if you want to know about it, because then I'm not going to go into it.
But we
Giant.
love it. So
Yeah, we use it a ton. So Lawrence Luma, what's up, Lawrence? He said that minnow white bolt minnow is going to be one of the best baits of all time. Money when you trim it to fit a 3mm silver jig. Yeah, it's going to be a very good tournament bait. If you want to catch really big crappies and bluegills, Lawrence, I would say use a soldier fly.
Lawrence doesn't know how to catch big ones. He even told me that one time. He's like, how do you catch big ones? I was like, use bigger baits.
Lawrence is really good at catching the biggest of the small ones, though.
Yeah,
Winning those
he loves that
He's a
little
hammer, dude. He's really good.
when
Yeah,
the
awesome.
3 mils on, it's on, eh?
Yeah, he fished
I love you,
worlds,
Luma.
didn't he?
Yeah. No, he's good. He's a good
He's
angler,
a-
but
Very.
I always give him crap because he asked me, he's like, how do you catch all those big ones? I'm like, I don't know. Bigger stuff? Like, what do you want me to
Make
say?
sure the little ones miss my bait. That's a very big key.
I don't want a 3mm jig trying to catch an 18-inch crappie.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I'll pass.
Daryl, should I spend the money on a bird or wait for next year? Bird's coming up with anything new? From what I know right now, I would tell you I would get an Explorer. Those are going to be around a long time. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. It's I've used, Garmin's, Lowrance's, Humminbirds, you name it, for in a boat over all the years. Dead serious. I don't think I've used a better head unit than the Explorer unit. Like it is
Sweet.
very, very, very impressive. And it's a very good price point model too. It's only like $200 or $300 more than what the comparable Helix would have been.
And
Yeah,
that's
but-
like light years better than a
But you
Helix.
get all the maps too.
Yeah.
I mean, you get all the
yeah.
maps. US A map
no
for
more
every U.S.
chips.
lake.
Like,
You
dude,
will go from a Helix to an Explorer. I equate it from going from like a BlackBerry phone to an iPhone 12. Like
It's
that
a big difference.
Like you're just gonna get into it and be like,
I mean,
whoa.
even the Waypoint organization, like it's dialed.
well, and it's like it's more trim too, because like, dude, I actually looked at dimensions. The 9 is actually the same actual physical size thing as the 10 was in the Helix.
Yeah.
Like the screen is still the same size, but the actual trim down like the rest of it. So it's like kind of a sweet deal.
How do you spread the word on good word on selective harvest with new tools like Onyx Fish, forward-facing sonar? More people are going to have opportunities. Selective harvest needs to be taught to the youth. Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to play this 30-second shameless, not an ad, because
That's why we're doing the Crappie Chronicle things, Marcus.
Yeah, I'm going to play this real quick. We're going to take a 2-second break. So if anyone needs to go to the bathroom or anything, go roll with it quick. But this will answer.
Oh my god. Nice.
I didn't mean to hit that again. All right. So to answer the question about that, Marcus, that's a great question. The reason we started that Crappie Chronicled campaign is because obviously we're helping teach people how to catch a lot more fish, a lot bigger fish. The tools are out there for people to catch them. We've talked about it for 5 years of filming the Crappie Chronicles, how important it is to selectively harvest fish. And that's why, we're rewarding people and showing people that like, hey, this is a good thing to do. Like we talked about earlier with the pyramid and everything, it is so important to release crappies over 12 inches back into fisheries. Their genetics are so important to maintain that. I know it's a thing where people are like, well, down south, they keep all these 14 inchers. I think you're going to see that drastically change in the next few years. I think there's a very big movement that's going to happen around the country with it because of how popular crappie fishing is getting. Bluegill, I mean, it's getting very popular around the country now. So it's just got it. We're going to preach it all the time, but selective harvest is so important. We cook fish all the time. Pink, we cook fish all the time, but we cook certain fish, right?
Yeah, I mean, we do our best to kind of promote like what we're talking about, but I mean, that's why we do so many recipes where it doesn't matter what size the fish are that you're catching. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the things that we do, it's like you don't have to have 14 inchers to like make the things. Like you can literally make everything that we cook with 9-inch crappies, basically. So yeah, I mean, I think it's important, and it's like just something that we want to try to just get the word more out. Yeah, it's difficult to like convince people that feel otherwise, right? Because it's like some people are just like, dude, I want to take my limit. Don't tell me what to do. But at the end of the day, if we don't do it ourselves, eventually they're gonna make rules about it, and then you're gonna have to follow them anyway. So
Right. Good point on that.
Yeah. So I would definitely say that. Matt, if you have a school of big crappies that run every time you just walk up to them, will you continue to chase them or stay put and run traffic?
I will go home now.
I think but Griff, that really depends on the situation.
Well, how fast are they running? Are they like,
yeah, this is it. Did they go 100 feet and fly away off the screen?
Yeah, did they go? If they go 10 feet, we'll probably chase them. If they go 100 feet every time, we're going to leave.
Yeah,
we usually give them about 10, 20 runaways before we bail.
Yeah, and then we're like, all right. Nah.
But I will say there's times, I mean, in an episode coming up, Griff and I chased him for about hour and a half before we caught one. Yeah. 2 hours.
Yeah, it was a while.
And then it got really, really, really good.
Yeah,
it got pretty
Western.
Dude, you remember that one day a couple years ago where we went out on that lake and we first school we found, we saw them, we walked over there, drilled, they left, and we were like, let's just leave.
Yeah,
Dude,
We were there for
drilled.
like,
We drilled
took
two
two
holes,
steps towards
put
them.
everything in the truck, and left.
We drilled one hole. There they are. Took 2 steps. They went, yeet, and we're like, all right, let's go.
we literally didn't even fish. We just got in the truck.
Literally left. And we were like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is, I mean, you got to understand the fisheries you're on and the way they're acting. Dude, there's times where it ain't going to happen. But then like running traffic, I think is really good. If you're in a neck down, if you're on an inside turn, if you're on a weed edge, stuff like that. Yeah, you can run traffic all day. This has been a great year for running traffic because fish are moving a lot. So. How many auger batteries do you go through in an outing? It honestly isn't.
The last 2 years have been
depends.
amazing for that.
Yeah, it hasn't been as much as you would think. Normally, like 2 9-volts,
3?
maybe.
Usually?
Yeah, 2 9-volts.
3 years ago when we were driving, this was before we had a Polaris deal. We remember we had my truck running with the chargers in the truck because we were going through so many batteries.
But we had like consistently like 24 plus inches of ice everywhere. we went.
Yes.
So it was like you were
100%
juicing batteries.
depends. Yeah, it 100% depends, but like on a
Yeah.
day, if you have like 14
Fuck,
inches
bro.
of ice, I don't know, probably like that was funny. If you have like 14 inches of ice, I don't know, we'll probably burn through 3 to 4 of them. And we usually carry like 9 with us, something like that.
That's like on the high end though. We're usually in
Yeah.
that like 2 to 3 range in a regular full day.
Yeah, and like 3 years ago when we had like 2 feet of ice, that's when we were burning through all of our batteries, and I was driving my truck on the ice to continue to charge batteries.
Yeah.
But
we've been using those 9s too. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know.
that's what we had back then too. We had 9s and 6s, and we were burning through them. But when you've got 2 feet of ice, though, you're no matter what, you're eating up batteries like crazy.
Dude, I've been pretty pumped with those new ones I got though. Because
Yeah.
like granted, I'm surprised that one didn't die today because I didn't charge it and I used it all day yesterday and we still ripped. Well, I mean, we didn't cut that many holes today. But, like,
we didn't cut very many.
But
holes.
I
It was a
didn't
lot
think
of
it was-
ice, though.
yeah, but
There
when
was
we
a
cut
lot
the
of ice.
first one and I had to make the extension longer, I was like, okay, we're in trouble, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, are all your holes 6 inches? No, we use an 8
Eights.
auger. We
We
wouldn't
would
get
a lot of the crappies we catch, we can't get up 6.
Yeah,
so we
there's
use
a
eight.
lot of 15-inch fish you guys wouldn't have seen if we were running 6.
Well, and the Mega Live transducer.
And the Mega Live transducer doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give opinions, Waldo, on the new Psycho Shad, and I also recommend color and size.
Yeah, so the Psycho Shad is awesome. The 1/12 ounce is my favorite. If you're familiar with like chubby darters, it's almost the same exact size as a number 3 chubby darter, and it has that same shimmy on the fall. I would say it has better hooks. About
The
awesome.
shimmy on the fall, Waldo, I will say that Psycho Shad, if you bring it down, so like you're pounding it, but if you really see a fish coming in and you want to get them to go, if you drop it without pounding it on like a semi-taut line,
Yep.
it rolls like a like you see all the forward-facing sonar people now in bass tournaments and walleye
Yeah.
shaking a minnow, and they get their minnow to roll. That Psycho Shad does that same shimmy.
Yeah.
If you drop it on that semi-taut line. Anyways,
it's
keep going.
amazing.
But it's sick. It has a sick
And I
fall.
would say like my favorite color so far. I've been dabbling around with a handful of different colors. They've got a shad color that looks really good. But my favorite one has been that chartreuse Wonder Bread. For whatever reason, it gets bit really well. I think it's just super loud, and I think it just triggers a reaction strike because it's a big bait and it's super bright. I mean, it's neon yellow pretty much. So I love that chartreuse Wonder Bread Psycho Shad, and the 1/12 ounce would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, I was using that same size, but in that like I forget the name of it, but it's one of the koi colors. It's the white one with like the orange black splatter.
That was
Yeah.
Black splatter koi one.
Yeah, that's another good
Yeah.
one too.
Those Psycho Shads have awesome colors. Like half of those colors I wish were in like a Pinhead or something. They look really good.
Oh yeah.
They're painted awesome.
You like that mud minnow one, right, Waldo?
I like that mud minnow one
The
too.
mud
It looks
minnow
like a
ones
Yeah,
are
that was
good.
pretty
Like,
sweet.
so my favorite.
The lifelike ones are like dope.
Yeah.
my
The shine.
That
They
mud
have
minnow
like
one is
5
pretty
different shiner versions, and all of
Mhm.
them are just
that's my favorite
incredible.
one. My all-time favorite one is that one by far. I've been using it a lot. This one is my second favorite one. This is the color Griff was referring to, and that's that mud minnow.
mud minnow.
Dude, it is sick though when they're actually eating it because like,
They crush it.
dude, yeah, like I mean, it doesn't work all the time, but like on the days when they are eating it and it is just like sideways pinned in their mouth, you're like, oh yeah.
But like they've
Well,
got
that
Most
last
of the time,
video,
they ain't even hooked
that last
day.
video, they were just gutting that thing when Waldo
Yeah.
caught him.
My
So-
favorite is there were some days in the backwaters, like early on in fishing this series, where Waldo and I were using chubby darters before the new Psychos Chad was out, and they would T-bone it, and like half of the fish weren't even hooked. It just they had it
Wedged
T-boned,
in. Yeah.
and it was just wedged perfect. So
Yeah.
you'd like get it out, and then they'd flop off, and you're like, oh,
like they've got a bunch of really good natural perch colors. That one
Yeah.
looks super good.
that
That was
golden
dope.
shiner one is nasty.
This one's also pretty sweet. It's like a
Oh yeah, that's a good one. It's
it's
kind of like a parrot color.
yeah.
Mhm.
But they've also
okay.
got like supernatural shad colors too.
There's a lot of good ones, but it's worth that 1/12 is the deal though.
yes,
Yes, 100%. That 1/12 is awesome.
All right,
That
so
shad color.
questions about onyx fish mapping. Some people have went to a point to find out it was a hump. So onyx fish, as of right now, that I know, does not have a mapping partner. So like we talk about, we use onyx fish for so much research, weather data, like you can use waypoints, tracks when you're on the ice to make sure you get off safe.
Barometer forecast hourly.
Yeah,
Like,
you can do so many cool things on that app,
It's
and
not
like
great for mapping.
we talk about it in our seminars.
No,
Use the One
it's
Boat
not.
Network app. We use the One Boat Network app for mapping, and we still do to this time. So,
But I think that's likely because right now it's free. So once they go to a paid
Right.
version and they get a mapping partner, whether
Yeah,
it's like
they'll
Lake
have it.
Master
Yeah.
or whoever,
yes,
that then there'll be like integrated existing mapping that's really good. So
Absolutely.
but like right now, yeah, the mapping is yes, agree.
Miles wants to know, what's your go-to strategy if you find fish are auger shy? Okay, I'll drop this one tidbit
There's
for people. This
two
is
schools
yeah.
of thought.
I'll drop one piece here that I think is a very good piece of information that people probably will learn a lot from and don't know, but is I think we've experienced it over the years and we've talked about it a little bit, but we'll talk about it more now for all our live stream viewers. Is when you first get on fish, I think they are almost always auger shy. And I think people give up too early on them because, as weird as it sounds, you need to condition your own fish. Like you have to get them used to your presence being there, because then they will stop going as far most of the time. So I think that
This is why we use 3 batteries.
Yes.
Right.
So I think there is a portion to that. If you, like we've talked about before, if you drill a hole and then you walk over to them and you drill and they're 100 feet gone, buddy, you ain't catching up to them.
Yeah, just let them go.
Yeah, it's gone. But if they're shifting, like, just work around them a little bit. They're eventually.
It can be frustrating.
We've also done it where we've just simply said screw it and gridded out an area and they moved back in.
Yeah. Or just wait for them to cycle back through. You'd be amazed, like, how many times you maybe chase a school and after like 30 minutes to an hour, you're like, man, I'm about to give up. And you like look up and you're like, oh, our old holes are right there. And they're going right for them. So you're like, oh, sick. Cool. They made a big circle.
So it's either like chase them around or camp and wait for them to come back.
Yeah. Just depends what you want to do.
Go find a new group of fish and hope they're less auger shy.
And hey, Miles, if you want to send me your waypoints where you've been catching those big ones lately, I'll gladly take it. just saying, because you've been catching some big ones, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would also say on each body of water, I think each school is different. We've been on bodies of water where like we drill on one school and they're just eviscerated and gone. And then we go to another school and they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it just really depends. There's a lot of situations to it.
It is weird how they'll do that on the same lake. One school is like, sure.
Oh, yeah.
The other one's like, nah. You know, you're just like, okay. Same fish, different story.
I can't remember. You showed me a bag to store your plastics in. What was that brand again? Waldo, do you have that behind you?
It's the Arsenal bag.
Yeah. So these are a new partner for this year. We talked about them a bit. Waldo, you want to show those off? Talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, so like I've got multiple of these bags. Like I keep flutter fries and soldier flies in each one of their own waterproof bags. I can tell, like, if it gets wet from, you know, you punching holes in near like your ice house and stuff, like you don't have to worry about it. They're waterproof bags. Like the zipper on them is like super heavy duty, and I mean they're just built right. So
And that's like the
are
medium,
amazing.
the medium size, or is that the?
Yeah, these are the medium ones.
Yeah, that's the medium.
Yeah, they make like I have a large one that I put a bunch of my tools in, like a bunch of pliers, crescent wrenches, screwdrivers, drill bits, and stuff that I have because like when we travel, we go on all these places that, you know, it's really tough on your gear. So I always carry a tool bag. Well, now I just have one of these heavy duty Arsenal bags. I can see what's inside of it because they make a frosted one that you can write on, and then they make a clear one that you can really see what's inside. These bags are awesome though. You definitely want to get some. If you want to be organized, like it makes it so easy. Like I got a jig head one, I got one for flutter fries and bolt minnows, and then I got one for soldier flies.
And the nice thing is even when they're cold, like 15, 20 below, they don't like crack like the old windows on like Frables and Otters and stuff, where those you know, their side windows, they get cold and they chatter. And or it's the same material, but kind of, it's obviously modernized. But
I mean, Bart
it doesn't do that.
Open water in super hot weather conditions, and we've been using them in negative, you know, 10 to negative 20 so far this year.
Well, it was negative 30 wind chill when me and Pink were on that one lake, and we had those, and they were just malleable.
They don't get rigid.
They were just like, it was just like it was 70 degrees out. They were just, you know, you could move them all over the place and nothing happened.
They're just good bags. It's like
yeah.
So that would probably be one. I'd probably say the other one for me would be the Chronicle. That rod's been the deal for me. I love that thing on that Psycho Shad.
You like that?
Yeah, that Chronicle rod has been sweet. This guy.
You can get that for 10% off with code TC25.
Yep.
At Thorne Brothers till tomorrow. All right, what about you, Pink? You got 2 items for this season that you kind of picked up this year that you're really liking?
So far I really like those new mittens, those leather mitts. I've been like, I don't think I've worn any other like outerwear gloves. So those leather clam mitt, I don't even do they have a
I'm
special
finding
name?
them. I'll
whatever. I think I got the combo.
They'll be in the description.
It has like the wool gloves on the inside.
I learned a new trick, Griff. You're about to see something.
Oh boy. But anyway, those mitts are awesome. And then I guess if I had to pick a second one that's new, dang, I don't know if I didn't feel like I got like that much like brand new stuff this year.
Come on, Pink.
I'm thinking, dude. I'm thinking.
Don't rush me.
Man, I just feel like everything I had was pretty dialed, and I didn't change the setup all that much.
Right.
Like, to be fully honest, I guess the machine, like, dude, that I've been. I guess it's not necessarily.
That's what you're talking about, right?
That is exactly what I'm talking about. And then, like, I got the one that came with the wool, fingerless gloves. Also, like it was like a combo deal.
The combo, yep. They're sold out of the combo, but you can buy them separately right now.
Okay, well, I would do that. They're sick.
Yeah. The other, you guys got me on those. Like, dude, I don't wear gloves. Like, I've never wore gloves in my life, and you guys started wearing those things, and I'm like, I'll try them. I love them.
So you guys are talking about these
fingerless ones. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, so they're available at some retailers or separate or whatever. You're gonna have to look for them, but those are good. What about you got? Did you say something else, Pink? Sorry,
I don't really have another one that was like lighting my world up, dude. Like I've been happy. Like it wasn't, I guess, not a piece of equipment, but like, dude, I've been stoked on that 6x6 when we've been able to use it.
Yeah, sweet, man.
Yeah, people see that a lot more now. But yeah, we've had a Polaris 6x6.
Like something that I would say, actually, I'm like, this is really sick, and it's like, improving our, day-to-day stuff. So
right.
Griff, what about you?
Well, I'd say like obviously like our pinheads and stuff, you know, they're great, but that 16,000 heater, I was kind of wondering if that would heat the X800, you know, which is the double. Is it 400 or is it two 600s? But whatever it is, it's a double hub.
Like
that
super big dog. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 16,000. Oh my god, dude, it was 85 to 90 degrees in that fish house, and it was 5 degrees when we started. Like if I had it on 16,000, because it's a variable heat, so you can change it. But I'd put it on the 16,000, and it was like, dude, it was a sauna in there, and I'm like, all right, cool, this thing will heat this
How
whole
can you
thing.
even fish when it's that hot, dude? I couldn't.
Well, I didn't.
survive.
This is for my clients. I just want to make sure though, because it
Who
was
are
a
they
husband
from,
and
Florida?
it was a husband and wife, and I was like, yep, you got to cater to the ladies, got to make sure they're warm, you know. And the husband was trying to get her into ice fishing, so I'm like, make sure she's warm, comfortable. Boom. By the end of the day, she loved ice fishing, dude. It was awesome. So the husband was pretty happy, but that heater was the deal. Kept that thing 85, 90, like on 6,000, you know. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
All right, I will say for one of mine, it's this the new
You like that rod, don't you?
the new Pinnacle rod. Yeah, it's really good, dude.
Dude, he
It's-
was talking it up so hard today too, and I
It's
was like,
fun,
"You don't have to
man.
convince me, dude. Like we're all like we made this."
It's fun, dude.
Right.
It is Griff. You
You know, we
used
did
you-
this together.
I was like,
right?
I have it, dude.
Yeah, you used it when we were out in Hayward too. It's cool. Just it's the most sensitive rod I have ever used. Like you can feel him breathe on it. It's crazy. So it's
Right.
super fun. It's shorter than most of our other rods. So if you fish in a house and you want to use a pinhead, this is a great option for a 16th ounce and an 1/8 ounce pinhead.
And
as
how
well.
long is it? What, 27?
Yeah, it's 27 inches. Yep. So that, and then if you want to, say you get one at Thorne Brothers, and if you wanted to use it as like a 4 mil or a 5 mil jig rod, you 100% could. Just ask them to put I would say a medium light or a light spring bobber on it, and they can do that for you at Thorne Brothers. So if you added that, it would be a bomb little tungsten jig rod as well. Other than that, I would say our pinheads, and see, they're the Tika flashes we were talking about. Like I said,
Hey.
all Tika flashes are 20% off.
I do. This is like, I guess it's not necessarily a new product, but it was new to us. And I know me and Waldo have been using them a little bit more, but like, dude, those aqua views are dope.
Yeah.
Like now that we've actually been using them, I know they're not like brand new or anything, but like, dude, that 8-inch freaking thing is sick.
I'll find it quick. I think they're sold out at Thorne Brothers, but
That one.
it's not that
No,
one.
No,
It's this
that
one.
Yep.
that one.
That
Yep,
this is
they're
the one
sold
we've been
out.
using. It's
Yeah.
sick.
It is really dope. And like, I don't know. I guess I never had one that had the big, like a larger screen like that. Love it.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a few items. All right, now we're gonna start ripping through questions again because believe it or not, we did fall behind again.
Unreal.
Have you noticed fish are more shallow this year? I think it's extremes. They're either much shallower or deeper.
This year's
They're
weird.
definitely in places they're not normally. I would say that. Like they moved a lot compared to usual.
I would agree with that. Yeah, they're all over the place.
Davin, bigger lakes better for crappie fishing or little lakes better in Wisconsin? I think they all have their place. Little lakes, you're going to search for a diamond in a rough pretty hardcore. But with Onyx Fish, we found some places out there that like got them. And it was, I mean, we did a good amount of research, but it was like apparent.
I don't think one is necessarily better than the others, but if you're going solely based on data, not based on like information from somebody or having gone there, the little lakes are going to cycle way more. So like,
Yes.
And they're easier to break down too.
well, right. But I'm saying like it could have surveyed good 5 years ago and it sucks right now.
Yeah.
Whereas like a bigger lake probably is a little less,
A little more consistent.
like, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. And I would say if you're looking at bigger lakes, you're going to be looking at the bays off of the bigger lakes. That tends
Yeah.
to kind of be where
Like
the
treating
crappie
them like
stuff
their own
goes.
lake. Kind of
Yeah, they're kind of their little isolated finger or basin or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Are the backwaters any good midwinter? Honestly, not really. It can cycle and be good. I will say, as a blanket statement this year, it has seemed like the river has been pretty bad in our area for crappies. I know they're mashing perch down in La Crosse and Winona and stuff, but
But general rule of thumb, if for midwinter fishing, if the water level was low going into winter, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah.
Just how it is. I mean, there's exceptions all the time, but if the water is like high going into winter, which doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's like pretty fire all winter long. So
yeah.
Okay, so had a comment. Most of the Wisconsin Lakes DNR info is garbage. I would just say, so on the Onyx app, what I would say is this: we went to Wisconsin and were thrilled because forever there was no info, there was nothing.
It was hard to find.
So now we get something, and that something that's out there is pretty good, to be honest, in terms of a breadcrumb compared to a lot of places around the country. So you got to do a little bit more digging. It's not like painfully obvious like Minnesota stuff is, but if you're willing to put in a little bit of just scrolling through your phone and looking around, looking through different years, there's some very good stuff in there, I would say. I was very impressed with it. Obviously, like, I don't know, probably, would you say, what, 30-40% of the lakes weren't surveyed? 30%? Maybe.
Well, and the thing you got to remember,
but like,
with this
that's
type
recently,
of data, though, because like Minnesota has a very robust fisheries survey program, right?
Yes.
Wisconsin has one. It's not nearly as robust, and you got to take into account that the data is like people are collecting this information, and then this information is just being transcribed into like Onyx fish, stuff like that. So it's like you're solely basing it on like physical people collecting it, entering data and all that stuff. So there's always some level of error to it, but it does seem like some species, at least from what I've seen on Onyx fish, like some species have like some whack stuff happening in the data, but like, at least for panfish, I don't know if it's a species identification thing or like what it is, but there's definitely like some areas where it's better than others for sure. So
we had it stay pretty consistent for us as well. Like, a lot of the lakes that we went to that did have fairly recent surveys, they held true.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Scenario: new lake, no inside info. Do you stay in the weeds or the basin? What are you looking for in the weeds besides greener the better?
I'm looking for fish in the weeds.
If there's weeds, then
to answer this question, the first thing we're going to do is look at the basin, because that's
I don't
easy.
really. Yeah, you got to look, because there's fish that live deep, fish that live shallow in every lake. I mean, it's just
and you got to sample and figure out which ones are holding the better fish.
And if you go to the weeds, you're looking for life, and that's where live is helpful. You can't necessarily see a ton of fish or sharpshoot or like do that, but like if you're pointing the live at the weeds and there ain't nothing happening, there's not life.
Yeah.
Whereas you'll get to an area with fish, you'll point it at the weeds, and like the weeds are moving. There's different stuff going on.
Yeah. If it looks weird, just go over, and if you have a camera, drop the camera down.
Yeah, or use a camera a ton. Those
dude, I used Mega Live 2 yesterday in the weeds on a spot that like I cameraed the fish. That spot I sent you guys with all the crappies and bluegills.
Yep.
I used live there. You could see them.
Yeah.
Plain to stay. It was like weed fish just swimming through the weeds. I was like, oh boy,
that's awesome.
Like it's pretty clear. Like it was cool.
Any more backwater content coming? I think we got a little bit. It's been pretty tough. I will say that the backwater's been pretty tough.
We
got some coming.
We fished the one. They've been crap this year, unfortunately.
Daryl said he thinks we should do an episode when someone else cooks other than Pink. No restaurant doesn't count. We have talked about this. It may be happening this year.
Deal.
Don't worry about these.
You guys want to compare live 1 to live 2 quick for some people?
Yeah, it's a night and day difference.
Yeah, it's really not even comparable, to be honest.
It's not. I would compare it like comparing regular Panoptics to the new LVS 34. I mean, the difference is amazing. You can see so far away with it. Like we had said earlier, we could see Griff's Pinhead dropping 100 feet away on a giant. Like it's unbelievable. The target separation it has. it has a little bit wider cone angle, so it's easier to, see fish in the school and have them stay in your cone. The last one was so narrow, like they were constantly disappearing, and they do a lot less of that now. It's really impressive. I've been blown away by it. Like it's an awesome unit. And that, to be honest, like it's hard to talk just about the new transducer without mentioning how amazing the new head unit is. Like both of them paired together, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And then picking the right color palette too makes a
That
huge
also is
difference.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based on your eye, I mean, how you view. Like we're so used to the old Mega Live 1 that had that like red, blue, whatever palette.
Yeah.
And we did the amber one when we first started with the new Live. And then we're now on what the heck's it called?
I don't
Do you
remember.
remember? But it almost looks like the old one, but it's like
it's got a black background instead of blue. That's the only difference.
Yeah, but yeah, basically that's all the difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it shows them as red and blue and all
Is
that.
the clam plate with the power drive faster than the plate without it? No, it is not.
No, it drops the gear speed down, actually.
Yeah, that's
so
for like
slower.
bigger augers, so like your 10-incher. We use an 8-incher all the time without it, and
With
burn
no
through it,
no power drive.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a problem not using it. But yeah, if you're gonna toss like a 10-inch bit on there, get the gear reduction one.
Don't know if I missed an answer earlier. Do you have specific line pound test for different Chronicle rods? I have Bart's from last year and just got Griff's to start. I use 3-pound mono or fluoro on mine. Griff, what do you have on yours?
4 pound.
Yeah,
I've got
mono.
4-pound mono on Griff's rod, and then I use 4-pound fluorocarbon on Bart's rod, mainly because Bart's rod is very soft and parabolic. So I don't want more stretch with the mono. So
hey Waldo, wait till you see Bart's hook sets in the next video.
Oh, no.
Matched them.
You ever heard ice fishing line go like you just flipped it and
they weren't getting away.
He did it.
I got him.
That's funny.
No, you didn't.
That wasn't on my rod.
Bart's rod. I like using 4-pound mono on. I use 4-pound for pretty much everything. I like 4-pound mono on Griff's rod. My Waldo's Chronicle, I use 4-pound mono, and then Pink's rod, I use 4-pound mono as well. But Pink actually got me to finally put braid on one. Yeah. So that's the deal. The braid.
6-pound braid.
Yeah, the 6-pound braid with the fluoro leader is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
However, if it's like actually cold outside,
it's not
the
the deal.
Yeah.
Not the deal.
But
yeah.
So like this year, it has not been fun.
Yeah, if it's gonna collect ice, don't use it.
Yeah.
If it's under 32, not a good deal.
Next week it's looking pretty warm, so I think
Right, I've seen that.
Braid's gonna be out.
It was almost 50 here on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Scott said this has been a year of bigs. I feel I've seen more 17s on socials. I was able to even get my PB 18 in the Metro early, guys. Yeah, it kind of
nice.
We figured there were going to be a lot of them caught this year. There's a lot of real big ones.
Scott, I like waypoints. Send them over.
Evening, guys. I noticed Griff seems to use a black jig a lot. Do you guys work dark colors to bright colors or vice versa on new water? We use black or white basically immediately when we get places, and we tend to lean to a black jig.
Yeah, go with your confidence, Sid. I mean, I'm confident with the black jig. That's why I go with it. I mean, to be honest, you know.
Brady, I know your odds are for different occasions, but what is your overall favorite rod from your series? I think each guy could talk about that. You can't say your own. Maybe.
Yeah, we're all gonna say our own. I mean, I like my rod because this is what it is. It's,
I will say,
hand-to-hand combat.
I have been fishing with Griffs way more and more and more over the past couple of years, just because it's so fun to fight fish on it.
Yeah. I would probably say that we would all agree on Griff's rods.
The schoolie's just fun, dude.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
And it catches.
Yeah,
it does. If they ain't biting, they're gonna bite that.
Yeah. And like it's pretty versatile too. Like I've been actually using it a ton this year with the 1/32 ounce pinhead.
Yeah.
And it works the bait really, really well. So that little guy, as Griff likes to call it, Rainbow.
No.
Patriot.
Patriot.
Or this
It
one's
is
Patriot.
Rainbow.
Which one's
It is
Rainbow?
actually Rainbow
That
Glow.
is
It is Rainbow.
That
Rainbow.
is the Rainbow Goat. He calls it
He
Patriot.
just doesn't know what it's called.
Yeah.
I do now. Because I've seen it 17 times on the screen, so I know what it is.
Yeah, but you're for
Yep.
sure gonna still say a Patriot.
But
Mhm.
What
it
do you
is a
do
very
to
versatile
entice-
rod.
What
know I'm
do
going
you
to.
do to entice the bigs to bite if they're just coming up for a sniff then dropping back down? You need to change your cadence.
Cadence first, then downsize. That's my first two steps that I do, but it's almost always cadence.
So if you drop it below their face and then you jerk it really fast, you get them right in the chin.
Oh my
Kidding.
God, dude.
Don't do that. I'm joking.
Oh my
Joking.
It won't work either.
Not how we get them. Not how we get them. You can see the base in the mouth. I was joking. Sorry.
Snap or no
So
snap on pinheads? No snap. We take
No
them all
snap.
off.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
do that. Bait doesn't work right with the snap.
Yeah.
Rap Rock wanted to know. I'm not sure if this is a proper question, but I've always wondered what your guys' regular jobs are. I do this. Well, not the Chronicles full time, but I do video like production,
Videography.
media stuff full time. So in the
Yep.
winter, I do this full time now because of all you. So thank you. Please keep supporting our sponsors so I don't have to do anything else. All right, Pink, what do you do?
Well, Bart doesn't pay me enough to just do this, so I
Once again, support our sponsors, please.
He's got a point.
I'm serious. But yeah, I
Hey, Pink, where's that meat season at?
Oh shit.
well, if you let me get to the time suck I'm about to talk to you about, maybe then you can understand where I'm coming from here. So I work in like for a city doing environmental water resources stuff. So I do water management stuff. It's pretty electric.
Super cool.
Sounds boring.
Waldo, what do you do?
Equally as boring. I'm selling life insurance products, like annuities, investment side of life insurance to financial advisors.
There you go, Griff.
I do tiling, I set tile. Make
And
people's
guide
bathrooms look
sometimes.
beautiful.
Make
Yeah.
people's bathrooms look good.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm trying to find more. You guys just kind of talk, I guess. Waldo, show people some of our rod series they can get for 10% off while I look through all these.
Yeah, we've got Griff's rod, super versatile. It's great with small pinheads. It's also really good with like 4mm jigs. Griff usually uses a 4mm drop kick on it, and it's awesome for that. We've got Bart's rod. It's a great finesse rod. I actually was fishing bluegills the other day, so I've got a little black 4mm drop jig with a little plastic on it. And then let's see here, we got my rod, also good with 4mm jigs, also good with
16 ounce pinhead
heads is usually what we do. And then we've got Pink's rod, which is the broomstick of the lineup.
But it's so fun.
This one is a ton of fun to fight big fish on, of all species. It's a really good lightweight walleye rod, amazing perch rod. One of my favorite combos to put on this is the Drop Double XL, which is an 8mm jig. It's an 1/8 ounce, and that hook is actually perfect for the flutter. It's a hair smaller hook than what is on the Drop TG jig, but this one's heavier, so it gets down super fast. This is actually from our Devil's Lake perch videos. I have still yet to tie on a different bait, and I've used this a bunch this year, and the plastic is still like it is shredded up from perch, and it's still intact.
It's so cool how they stay on with like out a hook or a bait keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like stuck.
Like they just
Yeah.
stuck. They're just stuck.
So yeah,
Like
that's
people are like,
been-
you don't have a bait keeper? I'm like, no, dude, it just stays on there.
put
I
it
don't know
on.
why, but it does.
Yep. And then our
I'm
two new
not a-
ones for the year
I'm not a plastic scientist. I don't know.
are a Chronicle. It's a really, really good lipless bait rod. It is actually a very parabolic blank to it. it's just awesome. It's got a little 5-inch cork handle to it. It's like I said, one of my favorite Psycho Shed rods.
Mhm.
You got guys that like ripping wraps. It's great for that too. Any lipless baits, this rod is amazing for. And then the last one is our Chronicle. And this one is really good for like your 1/8 ounce Pinhead. It's amazing for. And then I've actually been playing around with the flutter fry on it. And just because of how sensitive it is, and it's been working very well for that. I got a schoolie on it. I kind of went a little bit different route than the boys did. I think most of you guys are running spinning reels on yours.
I put a schoolie on mine.
Yeah. With that schoolie though, it's got to weigh about what, 2 ounces?
Maybe. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's super light.
It's crazy how light it is with the schoolie on it, which I kind of like. And
I
it's
did.
it's
I
really
used
sensitive.
Bart with the spinning rod, and I was like, I'm gonna try it with the schoolie. I think I like it a little better with the schoolie, but that's personal preference. But
yeah.
Jeremy said 16th ounce Purple Shadows been crushing in central Minnesota. Hoping Thorne Brothers gets more reverse Wonder Bread. I hate to be the bad news bearer, but they're not gonna. So I would get more Purple Shadows before they're out. So yeah, they won't
Limited
this year. I
drops,
can tell you
guys.
that. So just
Limited
make sure you
drops.
get your Purple Shadows.
Load
Yep.
up.
Yeah, we do limited drops. So let us know what colors you want to see next.
All right, everything angler wants to know: would you rather catch a 19-inch thick crappie or a state record largie?
19-inch crappie.
19-inch
This
crappie.
point in the game, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
Take that
Crappie.
19.
Well, and because it would be the state record, so
Yeah.
be huge. Scott said, Griff, you don't need my pin. You were on the pin, literally. Haha. So yeah, we know where he caught it. Zach asked, have you ever thought about fishing the Nebraska Sandhills? Yeah, I mean, we've looked at a ton of different places. If you guys have suggestions, seriously, comment them on videos and stuff. Not here on the YouTube videos, so I can see them again, because we do look at that. Yeah. So yeah, we're always looking for new places to go.
Sandhills are high on the list.
Did you see that tournament they just had out there on the Merritt Reservoir?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. We were going over everything today.
35 pounds for
25
crappie.
limit.
Yeah. Big crappie was just over 2.5 pounds.
Yep. Colby and Ben got second.
Yep. It was awesome.
Heck
Clay
yeah.
Dog had a really good finish too. Clay Dog came in fourth.
Yeah, you got fourth. Yep.
Bernie wants to know how old we all are. Well, they're going to learn Griff's age soon on a video because we were fishing on his birthday.
Yeah.
So
Griff just turned 50, 52.
Shut up, Bart.
it was
I
actually
am
50.
not 50.
I'm 31. You guys will learn Griff's age later.
Yeah.
27.
He's 63. Let's be
I'm
real.
27, damn it. Don't lie.
Okay.
Fine, 48.
Yeah. I'm 29.
What is your guys' favorite new merch this year? I've actually really liked our new hats. The new hats have been awesome.
I've liked the new one with the Spooler Elite on it, the hoodie.
The NIKU hoodie.
Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
That thing is warm.
Very warm.
Brady wants to know, could Griff live without a hood on? He never takes it off. No, he couldn't. Actually.
No, because it keeps my ears warm. And I have ADHD, so it blocks out the thoughts.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying, my mind
Keeps
goes
my
to
thoughts blocked
ADHD,
out.
dude.
Sarah wanted to know, haven't been able to get over the 12-inch mark this winter. Do you think there's a chance for bigger fish in these schools fishing Illinois? If you haven't gotten over the 12-inch mark yet, I would find a different school. So generally bigger fish like to be around bigger fish. Those massive schools aren't typically where we find our really big ones. So I would look around more if I were you.
Good call.
Oh, here, Waldo. You had a chest pack on in the Wisconsin show that you had your AquaView in. What was it? How big of a deal? Like, how big was it? What was it?
Yep. So the camera was the new AquaView 822 HD. That thing is awesome. And
8-inch camera.
Yep,
Great.
8-inch camera.
Record.
And so what I did was I just looked at a bunch of chest packs online and I found one that fit that camera size perfectly. And the one that I went with is the FHF Gear chest rig. They got a bunch of different colors. It's like a bino harness, but it's just one big, large, open compartment that you can put whatever you want into it. And so I just looked at measurements and found one that fit. So far I like it. It's nice to have
dude,
that thing
pretty
handy.
sweet. Well, it's nice because you put your GoPro on the front of it too. You know.
Yeah, it's got molly loops on the outside. So I got my GoPro. I've got Arsenal has a really nice super micro scissors that actually fits tucked into the molly loops, and it has a clip on it that retracts. So yeah, it's been a sweet little rig.
Okay. I'm gonna pop up we're gonna take a quick break. If anyone needs to grab water or something, then I'm gonna do some questions from here. But yeah, so if anyone needs to go grab anything, just take a break for a sec. Then we'll be back.
Leaving the winter that never was behind, we come back to where it all began. Located within 60 miles of downtown Minneapolis is a fabled crappie capital that most can only dream of. Lakes and rivers sprawling with habitat, seemingly a genetic anomaly. This region regularly produces the largest top-end crappies you can find anywhere in the ice belt. Now, setting the stage for this coming winter, a widespread winter kill back in 2014 and several seasons of poor ice conditions has resulted in extremely low angling pressure. Our crew now finds themselves running into a dream scenario. The area they call home now has set the stage for a winter of historic angling opportunities. With a window they can now see as wide open and a sleeping giant that is now being awoken, there's been no time like ever before to document the largest fish this angling community has ever seen.
That's her. Whew, I haven't shaken from a crappie in a while, Bart.
Stuff your GoPro.
Whew.
There he goes. Oh my god. Nice.
All right, back. Sorry, I had to get something to drink. Okay, back to the comments. Pink. So we just showed the Crappie Chronicle campaign. Explain that to the people while I bring up these comments. What is it? What's going on? What are we doing?
Basically, we're trying to promote catch and release of large crappies, large panfish in general. But
Across the country. This doesn't have to be ice fishing. Dude, you can be in Texas. I don't care.
so basically, the way that this thing works, we're just trying to get the word out, trying to promote like conservation, trying to promote selective harvest, that type of thing. So the whole point of this campaign is to get as many people involved as possible to use the hashtag Crappie Chronicled in a post on social media where you are catching, photographing, and releasing a crappie over 14 inches. So to be involved in this, we're giving away stuff like every video essentially that we're putting out this year on social media too. I think are we doing weekly? Is it weekly prizes?
Every Monday.
Every Monday. So if you caught a crappie, you took a picture of it, you took a picture of it on a bump board showing that it's over 14 inches and have a video of the fish being released and use hashtag Crappie Chronicled, you're in to win. That's all you got to do. So the goal is just to show a bunch of crappies, big crappies getting released all over the place. So whether you're ice fishing, you're fishing somewhere down south, maybe it's even like we might roll it. I don't know how long we're going to have prizes for, but it'd be great to see it this spring too. Just people using that, promoting catch and release and just letting these big fish go, trying to keep those big fish genetics in these lakes and just try to keep it rolling. So if you want to be involved, it would mean a ton to us. You know, we love to see it. We're pumped when you guys catch big ones too. Like we're always sending each other photos and stuff that we get on social media. So if you tag us in it, we're definitely going to see it. And you could even win some cool prizes. So
money. Any sneak peeks for the coming trips this year? There's Easter eggs everywhere, man. I love putting them in the videos. So if you look hard enough, you probably can kind of figure out and maybe find it. But yeah, I put Easter eggs everywhere. I'll admit to that. I enjoy it. I always wonder if people are going to find it. And then a random person will DM me and I'm like, oh, you got it. Nice.
We are going places though.
We are. Yes. And
Yeah,
now
Places.
so the next segment of videos coming out will be home. So we got some really big fish coming. Yeah, pretty quickly. Okay. So if you guys have more comments here, throw them in. We'll answer more questions. I'm going to rip through these Instagram ones that I said I was going to do at the beginning and never did. So
Awesome.
Jacob Werner, Fish Werner Outdoors. What's up, dude? Wants to know what is the best way to sort through small crappies?
Catch them all.
Mow them down.
Yep.
Big bait.
Or just
pretty
leave
much
them.
Put whatever biggest bait you can get on and just weed through them.
If they're small, they're small. You know, you got to move on.
Yeah, if they're small, they're small. That is true.
You gotta
So I
go.
think this is a good question from a guy, and I think it's kind of a known thing with the Humminbird Mega Live bundles. So he wants to know, because we've been through the experience, how to keep Mega Live cables untangled and from cracking at the base of the deucer. So Waldo, how do you tape? We tape our deucers very specifically on the bottom.
Yep.
So maybe talk to him about that, because the Mega Live bundle that is out there right now,
Mega Live 1 bundle.
Mega Live 1 is still a very good forward-facing unit ice fishing. I will preach that forever. Like, it's a great unit to get into. And right now, there's going to be some awesome deals on it because ML2 came out, so you can definitely get into one. Just listen to a couple of these tips. It'll help you out, and you'll be good. So, Waldo, what do you got?
Yep. So I electrical tape the whole thing. So, and I just overlap my wraps and I go all the way up the entire thing so there's no cable showing. And then the second thing that I do is I put a slack loop where the transducer is. So your pole's here, your transducer's here. I put a slack loop before I tape it just to give it some wiggle room so it's not pulled tight on the transducer. That's the biggest thing. And then don't use zip ties on the cables at all. The Mega Live, they do have like a little, they have rubber reinforcements going up that you can zip tie to. I still don't do that. I electrical tape everything because it flexes and it doesn't put pinch points on the transducer cable. And you got to be, and that's with any forward facing unit out there. You just want to be careful because if you open up one of those cables, there is like 30 different little tiny wires on the inside, and you can get micro fractures, and there's a lot of issues that can happen if you're torquing on those cables. So slack where you need it, and then protection with the electrical tape is important.
Yeah,
and really bulk it up at the spot where the cables go into that little rubber piece.
Yes,
on the ML1 deucer. Like on mine, I literally taped it so that chunk was like a 1/4 inch extra, like thicker. Like really got it good, and I've had no issues with it.
Yeah, and I would say the biggest thing is where you tape it, you don't want a turning point. Like you don't want it to turn. Let it go straight for a little bit, and then
give it a big.
This was the main issue with the Mega Live 1 was that the sheathing on that cable gets brittle when it gets cold.
Yeah. So if you just tape it a bit, you're good. Like we haven't had too many issues since then. And if we did, it's because we're really hard. You watch Pink drill a house into a tree. We're hard on gear.
What?
So
yeah, I have no defense. Just go on. It's like,
what's your favorite place you've been to outside the metro?
Maine.
Pink, you can go Griff, Maine.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
Maine
far
was dope. I had a ton of fun at Devils though. I'm not.
Well, damn it.
No, you said it.
No, I know.
You picked.
I can't go back. I said Maine.
So yeah, I'd say that. I don't know.
I'd
that was
probably
a cool
say, gosh, what episode was it, Bart? after we were in the UP, that episode was one of my more favorite days.
Yeah, we haven't said where we went there, so
Yeah, we
that
didn't
was
say where
extreme. That was arguably the most fun 45 minutes of fishing I've ever had in my life.
Insane fishing, yeah.
Yeah, we were like, oh, we need a video. We're gonna grind all day. 45 minutes later, well, we're done. What do we want to do now?
Yeah. That was a fun day.
I would say Maine. Maine was unbelievable, man. That was just the whole journey and everything with it. It was cool.
Yeah, I would say crappie wise, that episode after the UP. Experience wise, Maine was up there.
Yeah, I would say Maine and Devils, but like I had so much damn fun at Devils, dude. Like,
yeah, the perch deal was incredible.
It was cool catching a bunch of fish that you were like, I've never seen one that big.
Yeah,
but
every time.
The uniqueness of Maine was, I think, the draw there.
Yes,
like we did stuff we never even we don't even have here.
Yeah,
you know. So no. Anyway,
I'm just going through these because we've answered a lot of these questions now. So, are there any secret big crappies that we haven't heard about from up North Bassett? Yes, there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Secrets. Dude.
Here's a good one. This is random. Where is your favorite burger place in the metro?
Ooh.
Snuffies.
Sneaky.
Snuffies. I'm snuffies.
Lily Griffith, ladies and gentlemen.
Mine would be Burger Mo's. I love Burger Mo's.
Burger Mo's is good.
Burger Mo's is really good. Bart, how about you?
I'm trying to think, to be honest.
There's a lot of good sleeper.
There's a lot of good places.
That place near Griff and Victoria is also really good too.
Oh, that place was awesome. Yeah, what was the name of that place? Right downtown there.
Downtown Victoria, off 5.
Yeah, it's right by the Holiday.
Oh, Floyd's.
Floyd's. Yeah, I'll take that one. Floyd's.
That one is good. That
was very good.
Pink, how about you?
I don't know, dude. I'm kind of a patty melt slut, so I don't go to that many like burger places, honestly. But like, I just feel like I'm gonna make it otherwise. If we're going somewhere, you know what I'm getting. So it's like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't hunt around too much for that stuff, so I'm not a good person to ask.
That's it. Yeah, that was good. Okay. Yeah. If anyone else has questions, ask them. Otherwise, we're probably gonna dial her back here. Yeah. Just quick run through one more time for everybody. We're running a merch sale for the next be till Friday at midnight. Basically, if you want to get 20% off most of the stuff that's in our store, use the code LIVE20. You can get it till Friday. So go order you some merch. Chronicle rod series are 10% off at Thorne Brothers using the code CC25 at checkout. You have to get it by tomorrow night, Monday night at I think it's midnight. So that's when it'll run out. And then the rest of the week, if you want a clam 16,000 heater, they're on sale for $110 at Thorne Brothers, as well as all clam clothing is 30% off as well. So great time to stock up on a new suit, gloves, whatever it might be, and a heater. That heater's awesome. And then save on the Tika Flash. This bait obviously has been selling incredibly well everywhere this year. Thorne Brothers is actually running 20% off of them this week. So if you need them, you don't have them, go get them, as well as our exclusive colors are currently on sale as well. So yeah, you can get those there. And then, you can also snag a Frozen Kitchen if you would like to. They're not on sale, but they have them.
Nice.
All right.
It'll be worth it, I promise.
Yeah, back to the questions. Daryl wants to know how your knee's doing, Pink. We haven't heard about that.
The knee's good, dude. I think I'm back to 100 on the knee, but like it was looking not so good there for a while, dude. Like
that was awesome.
That dude, I was never more confident in my life that I was like, dude, there's no chance I'm walking tomorrow, and this thing is gonna be black and blue for sure.
And you walked.
I dude. I was fishing. Like, I mean, I was slow for like the next couple hours, but. Yeah, you know, we power through, you know.
Mm-hmm. I hate to inform you guys. Bernie just told me the Purple Shadow 116 just sold out at Thorne Brothers.
That's because he just bought them all.
Yeah, gotta go, Bernie. Bernie's an OG here. If there was
there you go, Bernie. Thank you.
Yeah, we need to go.
Purple Shadow's gone.
how do you think baropressure affects the fish underwater? We've kind of talked about this a bit. The change in atmospheric pressure is negligent compared to the pressure of 10 plus feet of water above them. But I think it makes all the difference. Like we've literally looked at them. You can see them suspend or sit on the bottom. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're underwater first off, so they're getting pressed on.
Yeah.
But then you change the barometric pressure, which is like the air pressure. Well, if it goes higher, they're just getting pushed on, and they have an air bladder. So if somebody's pressing on your chest the entire time, that's not going to feel very comfortable, right? I mean, that's basically what the fish are feeling, in my opinion.
If it's above 30, it's going to be tough.
Dude, it was 30.34
go fishing on
all
a day when
day
it's
today.
sky high pressure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would just
it's not
say,
gonna be
like,
fun.
you can kind of do the science and stuff all you want, and then go out there and look at them and be like, well, today they're suspended 3 feet, and tomorrow they're on the bottom and they don't move anywhere. They're very obviously not happy.
Or you look at them wrong and they're like, ah!
Yeah, but I will say with that, each lake is different. We have lakes where we've caught, a dozen fish pushing 2 pounds or over on sky high pressure. That lake, they love high pressure. I don't know why they love high pressure, but they love it.
Here's the thing with high pressure, though, is that just being high doesn't make it necessarily bad. Like if it's high and stable, not bad.
Not bad. It's doable.
But if it's been whatever, if it's been low, moderate, whatever, and now it's high, it's gonna be tough. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
stable is always better than
as long as it's more
rapid
consistent
change.
We can usually guarantee you they're probably gonna bite, but there's nothing like 29.3 and just gradual stable pressure. It's amazing. If it gets below 30, like that 29.3, 29.1, that's like magic numbers. That's fun fishing.
Yeah. Mitch wants to know, if you didn't have Mega Live, how would you fish a basin?
Drill a lot of holes.
Well, the guys will elaborate at this on a sec. It'll be pretty similar, honestly, to what we do now. It's just we're way more efficient now. Like, we don't just walk out into the middle of a basin, drill a hole, and start spinning around live.
You're still picking high percentage locations on the map to go.
Yeah, we go to where we would go.
Your inside turns, spots next to flats.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, we're still using mapping and general fish knowledge and what they do throughout a day and how they migrate to figure out where they are more quickly. I would also say the sunset bite in Hayward the first day. That's probably the only time I think we've ever documented a basin bite where we were literally just walking around being like, I don't know, maybe this will work. And then it did. So that was like just random. But otherwise, we're typically fishing a piece of structure, looking around, and that's kind of how we're breaking it apart. But yeah, other than that, I guess if you guys pop in a question, otherwise, I think anybody else got anything they want to add? No?
I don't know, man.
Dude, I'm ready to go to bed.
Dude, it's been a long day.
Yeah.
Dude.
Been a very long day.
That wind sucked out there.
I was on Minnetonka at 6:30 this morning. I left at 6. Like, I'm good.
Dude, I got home like 1 minute before this started.
Yeah. Like I was like, okay, now I gotta go do this. I mean, it's great, but holy cow. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, you get tired.
Yeah.
Griff's getting old.
For sure. So for everybody, everybody who came, thank you so much for joining. We had a blast with all of you listening to the recording. Appreciate all you. So we will basically, for all of you diehards who are here listening to the videos, I'll give you a little down low here. Basically, we have I think I have like three or four videos in the tank right now. We're gonna have probably 1 or 2 of them coming out in the next 2 weeks. We are also going to be on the road for a pretty significant amount of time coming up here shortly. So if all of a sudden we go ghost mode, just hang on tight. There's a bunch of good stuff coming in February, like a lot of really good stuff coming in February. So just hang tight. We came out with some more videos. Going to be a little bit of a break here, and then we're going to get home, and all I'm going to be doing is pumping out videos. So hang on tight there.
Chronicles Mexico is coming next.
Yeah, we're going to Cabo, baby.
You saw that snow in Florida? Yeah.
Cabo San Lucas in the mountains, baby. Let's go.
All right. So other than that, thank you everybody for coming and joining us. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go buy you some merch, and we will see you guys later.